The Wildcats have made the 2-hour, 100-mile trek to Lansing, Iowa, in the extreme northeast corner of the state along the Wisconsin border. But it's a business trip for the Wildcats tonight as they look to continue the momentum from last week's win into tonight's matchup with Kee. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of Wildcat Football on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. I'm David Warrington, and the Wildcats are getting set for their first road game of the year, taking on the Kee Hawks. Now, before we get started tonight, I have to give a big shout-out to our sole sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank with offices in Central City and Eastern Iowa, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending, and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. Learn more at www.hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, here in Lansing. Wildcats' first trip to Lansing in quite some time. It's been since 2018 that the Wildcats made this 2-hour trek, but they will be taking on the Kee Hawks here in Lansing tonight. Now let's take a look at both teams for tonight's game. First, your Central City Wildcats. They come in 1-0, picked up a 44-21 win over Lone Tree this past Friday night. Their first 1-0 start since 2019. Assistant coaches for the Wildcats, Mark Kirscher, Mike Ferguson, and Spencer Nowadsky. Central City's head coach in his 8th season is Matt Myers. Coach Myers in those 8 seasons, record of 29 wins and 38 losses. Leading passer for the Wildcats, the starting quarterback is the reigning KCRG Athlete of the Week. That's Jaden Hansen. Last week in his first start of his junior season, went 11 of 20, 164 yards and 4 touchdowns. Leading the way on the ground will be the junior Aiden Klosterman. Last week, ran the football 22 times, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Lucas Greif had a great opening day at his wide receiver position last week. The senior caught 8 passes, 109 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Only scored 2 all of last year, so that's already more in the opening game than what he produced last season. Great opening day for him. Excited to see him continue that here tonight. And defensively, leading tackler for the Wildcats was Aiden's little brother, the sophomore Matthew Klosterman. He finished with 6 tackles. That leads the team. Now switching gears and taking a look at the Wildcats' opponent tonight, the Kee Hawks. They come in with a record of 0 wins, 1 loss. Hit the road and dropped a game to West Central last week. Final on that one was 46-32. Assistant coaches for the Hawks are Ray Rankin, Kyle Getzinger, and Hud Johnston. Kee's head coach in his 10th season is Chad Winters. Coach Winters in his time with Kee, record of 38 wins and 48 losses. Looking at the stats last week for Kee, sophomore Dalton Mutterman got his first start of his career. He went 11 of 27, 218 yards and 4 touchdowns without an interception. Impressive opening day start from the sophomore. Leading rusher for Kee last week was the senior Carter Getzinger. Ran the football 11 times, 92 yards and a touchdown. Jackson Schulte, the junior, led the team in receiving. He caught 3 passes, 101 yards and a touchdown. And Tom Trondle led the Hawks defensively last week, picked up 11 tackles, 3.5 of which were for loss. Dating back to 2008, this series has been dominated by Kee for the most part. Wildcats 3-11 against the Kee Hawks. They picked up wins in 2008, 2018, and 2019. These teams met in Central City last year back on September 2nd. That was a 64-8 victory for Kee. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, it's been quite some time since the Wildcats came here to Lansing. Last time they did so was back on September 14th of 2018. Remember, that's the year the Wildcats made the playoffs. Wildcats took care of Kee 60-12 back in 2018. Looking forward to a good one here tonight. Wildcats 1-0, their first 1-0 start since 2019. Kee Hawks 0-1 after a loss to West Central last week. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the updated district standings, let's take a look at the preseason district poll. Tonight is the first game of district play, so no standings yet. But we'll look at how the district did last week in non-district play. Central City, one of just a couple of District 5 teams to pick up wins. They hosted Lone Tree, and as I said, won at 44-21. It was a top 5 matchup in Gilbertville as second-ranked Easton Valley took on 4th-ranked Don Bosco. The Dons snuck out of there with the victory, 34-30. As I said, Kee was in Maynard last week, took on West Central and fell 46-32. Edgewood Colesburg had a big challenge to begin the year, hosting 7th-ranked Turkey Valley. The Trojans got that one 46-26. Springville traveled to 3rd-ranked Waco and lost that one 57-22. And to round things out, Midland went to English Valleys Eagles got that one 52-0. So 2 wins from the district last week, Central City and Midland. 4 losses, those being Easton Valley to Don Bosco, Key to West Central, Edgewood Colesburg to Turkey Valley, and Springville to Waco. With that said, here's a look at the Cedar Rapids Gazette preseason poll of 8-player District 5. Last year's 8th place team, Calamus-Wheatland, is out of the picture this year, not fielding a varsity team. More on that in a moment. They finished 0-7 in 8th place last year. Springville was picked to finish 7th in the district. They were 4-3, finished 4th, and snuck into the playoffs a season ago. But they will not be finishing 7th, I can guarantee you that, because the team picked to finish 6th, Central Elkader, like Calamus-Wheatland, also did not field a varsity team this year. So there are only 6 teams in the district this season. Picked to finish 5th is Key, our opponent here tonight. Last year they made it a game away from the Unidome, going 6-1 in the district, finishing in 2nd place. Picked 4th was Midland. Last year they were 5th at 3-4. Edgewood Colesburg was 3rd. They went 5-2 and also finished 3rd last year. Central City picked to finish 2nd in the district. Last year, in something of a rebuilding year with a bunch of young talent, they went 2-5 and finished 6th in the district. And picked to finish number 1 is 4th-ranked Easton Valley. Last year they were undefeated in the district and overall until the state championship game, where they fell to Cam Anita by just a couple of points. Nearly 8-player champions a season ago. With that said, here are the matchups in week 2 for the district teams. Couple of non-district games. 4th-ranked Easton Valley is actually outside of the state tonight. They are taking on South Beloit of Illinois. They were supposed to take on Central Elkader, but as I said, Warriors not fielding a team this season. Midland was supposed to be hosting Calamus-Wheatland. Instead, Clarksville heading to Wyoming. So just 2 district games here tonight, one of which is here in Lansing, Wildcats taking on Key. The other is in Edgewood. The Edgewood Colesburg Vikings are hosting the Springville Orioles as we get district play underway here tonight. Beautiful night here in Lansing. As the clock says 5:15, so we'll be getting play underway here in just a little while and anticipate the national anthem coming up shortly. But taking a look at tonight's weather, 80 degrees, hardly a cloud in the sky. And rain is not anticipated in the forecast, at least until after this game would conclude. So beautiful night for football, hardly any wind to speak of, but some Wildcats had some cramping issues last week. They'll just have to make sure they stay hydrated and see if they can avoid those issues this week. Again, I'm David Warrington coming to you from Lansing here at Key High School. Wildcats trying to take down the Key Hawks tonight as we are down to about 4.5 minutes away from opening kickoff. Both teams now lining up at their respective goal lines, and believe we're going to be having our national anthem here shortly. Wildcats were dominant in the first half and then held on to win last week. 44-21 was the final. It was 26-0 at the half. West Central and Key went back and forth last week in Maynard. A seemingly much improved West Central team ended up getting that win by a few scores. 46-32 was the final this past Friday night. Wildcats 1-0, Key Hawks 0-1 as we get set for some 8-player District 5 varsity football here from Lansing. Remember, these are the games that count towards playoff qualification. So for at least 4 out of the 6 teams in the district, the race to the postseason begins tonight. I believe we're going to have our national anthem here, so I will step aside, and I'll be right back with you after the conclusion of our national anthem. All right, folks, the anthem has been played, and we are just about set to get District 5 8-player football underway here from Lansing. Both teams are going to have all players introduced, something they like to do here at Kee. And then once that is done, we will be getting set for football. I'll take this chance to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is everywhere you are. With our online and mobile banking apps, you have your accounts at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. Again, can't say thank you enough to Heartland Bank for making it possible to bring this broadcast to you here tonight. Again, the sole sponsor of Wildcat Sports. And so thank you so much to them for their support of their local Wildcat athletics. Wildcats have their red helmets with the black logo here tonight. White jerseys with black numerals and red outline, and they're wearing their black pants with red down the sides. Kee in all purple here tonight. Purple helmets with the white logo. Purple jerseys with white numerals and lettering. Kee Hawks across the chest, and all purple pants for tonight's host, the Kee Hawks. Wildcats doing a breakdown underneath their goalposts, and they'll take the sideline here momentarily. Again, like I said, beautiful night here in Lansing, a bit warm, 80 degrees. Hardly any wind to speak of, and not really a cloud in the sky. Beautiful part of the state here in Lansing. Just a river across from the Wisconsin border. In fact, depending on how you go here to Lansing, you may go through Wisconsin to get here. Final Wildcats being introduced as they take the sideline. Considering the drive, not a bad Wildcat crowd here tonight. 100 miles is the distance between Central City and Lansing. And the Wildcats looking to take out the Kee Hawks here tonight on the road, looking to start 2-0. That would be the first time since that playoff season of 2018. So the Wildcats are on their sidelines as the Kee Hawks will now be introduced. Dalton Mutterman is the first one out. He is their starting quarterback. The sophomore made his first career start last week. As I said a little bit earlier on, he impressed in his debut. Mutterman went 11 of 27, 218 yards and 4 touchdowns without an interception. Also ran the football 9 times for 29 yards. I'll take this opportunity to give you the starting lineups for both teams. Central City offensively. Last week they had David Munyakazi starting at a guard, but he is not in uniform tonight, so somebody will step up there. Nolan Gates playing center. Dayton Price playing right guard. Makai Benton is the starting tight end. The sophomore Matthew Klosterman, as well as the senior Lucas Greif, the wide receivers. Greif was very impressive last week to begin his senior campaign, catching 3 touchdown passes. Aiden Klosterman is the running back, and Jaden Hansen will get the start at quarterback for Central City, reigning KCRG Athlete of the Week. They filmed that segment for the news last night. And now here in Lansing, Jaden trying to lead the Wildcats to a second straight win. Starting offense for the Kee Hawks, left to right along the offensive line. Andrew Colesrud, Jacob Rolfs, Tom Trondle, Carson Strong, and Jackson Schulte. Colesrud and Schulte are the tight ends, Rolfs and Strong the guards, and Tom Trondle will handle the center duties. Hunter Peterson lines up at fullback. Carter Getzinger, the senior, gets the start at running back. And like I said, the sophomore Dalton Mutterman will be under center, leading this Kee Hawk offense. Just a sophomore is Mutterman, but had an impressive showing last week. Final players being introduced now as we're just about set to go here from Lansing. And in a few moments, the captains will be going out to midfield. And we'll know who's getting the football first. 6:58 local time here in Lansing, as both teams getting set to go here tonight. Wildcats 1-0, as I said. Kee Hawks come in 0-1. First road game of the season for Central City. Do not believe the captains are going to come out to demonstrate the coin toss. Looks like we're just going to go straight into it, as the Kee Hawks take the field first. Looks like the Hawks will get the football first as Carter Seats, kick returner for the Hawks, goes back deep to return. And Central City will kick it away. Jaden Hansen sets the tee at the 30-yard line. Did a good job of kicking last week, had a couple of touchbacks. Hansen had 2 of his 6 kickoffs go into the end zone. And Connor Clark is also out there. He'll be something of a decoy kicker, but as we saw last season, is a pretty solid onside kicker, so we'll see what the Wildcats do here. Some things to play with as this one's about to get underway. Hansen marches off his steps, Seats and Getzinger back deep to return for the Keyhawks as this one's going to get underway. Hansen takes his approach. Kick is in the air, and we're underway. It's a good one. It's going to be fielded at about the 1-yard line, crosses into the end zone, but they're not going to call the touchback as Seats brings it out to the 15-20, and he's met by several white jerseys. And Key will get it 1st and 10 about their own 20-yard line. If I'm not mistaken, the high school rule is no matter what, if the ball goes across the goal line, it's a touchback, but nonetheless, that one was not called. And the Hawks will start at their own 21. So Keyhawks start 1st and 10 from their own 21. Dalton Mutterman leads them out there. They're going to go in the I formation. Peterson is the fullback. Getzinger the running back. As first play is underway, pitch out to Getzinger on the right, or the left, excuse me. Going towards the sideline. He's going to gain a couple. Not too much room out there for him. Nolan Gates is in the stop. Dayton Price and Aiden Klosterman also stuck their nose in it. As we will call that a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 upcoming. He got it up to the 24-yard line. Did Carter Getzinger. 2nd down and 7 from their own 24 as the Keyhawks break the huddle, come up to the line. I formation again. Mutterman under center. Takes the snap. Getzinger gets it again. Going to the right this time. Nothing there as several Wildcats converge and make the stop. Dayton Price, Mackay Benton, Braxton Davis, among others in there on the stop. They'll give him about a yard on that play up to the 25. It's going to set up 2nd down and 6. Or excuse me, 3rd down and 6. As Carter Seats will run onto the field, Andrew Colesrud runs off. Seats one of the wide receivers for this Keyhawk offense. So look out for a pass play here on 3rd down and 6. Seats does split out to the left as Mutterman takes the shotgun snap. It's a pitch ahead. That is a completed pass, but it's not going very far as Mackay Benton swallows it up. Nothing there. Lucky to not lose yards in that play. Carter Getzinger caught it. Absolutely nowhere to go. The Wildcat defense stifles the Keyhawks to begin the game. Actually looks like they may have lost a yard on that one. And that'll set up 4th down, and it's punting time for Key. Mutterman will snap it, and Andrew Colesrud is going to punt it for Key. Looks like, I believe that is Aiden Klosterman going back deep to return. Good snap from Mutterman. Colesrud gets it away. Spiraling, high punt. Klosterman calls for a fair catch, makes that fair catch at about the 22-yard line. And that is where the Wildcats will get their offensive night started from their own 22. So Central City will take it from their own 22-yard line, and that is where the Wildcats will get their night of offense started. As I said, Jaden Hansen will lead the huddle for Central City. Aiden Klosterman, the top running back. His little brother Matthew can also run it, as well as help in the receiving game. As Jaden Hansen stands in the shotgun, but Aiden Klosterman might take the snap. He does. Met in the backfield, but spins out of it, and he's going to make something out of that play. Impressive running there by Aiden Klosterman. Gets across the 25 despite being met a couple yards deep in the backfield. As Jacob Rolfs was there right away but couldn't make the stop. Klosterman brings it past the 25 up to the 26. As that'll be a gain of 4. 2nd down and 6 for the Wildcats on a play where Aiden was met, like I said, a couple yards deep in the backfield. So 2nd down and 6 from their own 26. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Hansen's by himself in the shotgun. 2nd and 6 from the 26. Hansen takes the shotgun snap, gets rid of it across the middle. It's incomplete. A couple of guys were there. Mackay Benton and Matthew Klosterman both kind of in the middle of it. But it will go incomplete. And that is going to set up 3rd down for Central City. 3rd down and 6 from their own 26. 9:34 to play in our opening quarter. We're scoreless here from Lansing. Hansen jogs into the huddle with the play call. As Wildcats face with their first 3rd down of the night. Wildcats up to the line of scrimmage. Hansen in the shotgun. Klosterman's to his right. Snap's going to go to Klosterman, somewhat high, but he handles it. has some running room. He will have the first down. At least he should. It depends on the spot. But from my vantage point, it certainly looks like he did have it past the 30 up to about the 32. And they will move the chains. It's the first down for Central City. Needed 6. Klosterman got 6. It is 1st and 10 from the 32. Call it the 32.5-yard line as the Wildcats pick up the first down. Wildcats back up to the line. Twins to either side as Hansen's in the shotgun by himself. Now Matthew Klosterman comes in motion. He will take the jet sweep. No, he'll fake it, and Jaden Hansen met in the backfield. Absolutely nothing there. Jacob Rolfs, as well as Carson Strong, were there to meet him. And that is a sizable loss on that play. Back to about the 28. We'll call that a loss of 4. It'll set up 2nd down and 14 for Central City. After Jaden Hansen faked the jet sweep to Matthew Klosterman, but the Keyhawks had it read well, and they lose 4 on 1st down. Wildcats back up to the line. Lucas Greif is split out to the right. He caught 3 touchdowns last week. Hansen takes the snap, drops back. It's a clean pocket. Steps up, gets rid of it. Greif is there, but it's overthrown and incomplete. And 3rd down and long is upcoming for the Wildcats. Carter Seats was in on the coverage, and he had it covered fairly well. 3rd and long coming up for the Wildcats. 3rd and 14 from their own 28-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go in our opening quarter. Hansen jogs into the huddle. As now Central City breaks the huddle, and they come up to the line of scrimmage. Lucas Greif will split out to the left this time. Benton is the tight end to the right. Hansen takes a shotgun snap. It's bobbled. Ball's on the ground, and looks like Key got it. Believe Jacob Rolfs fell on it. He did. He stands up and shows it off. And Key will take over inside their own territory, past the 25 up to about the 23. Good field positioning for Key, as they will have it. 1st and 10, we'll call that there the Wildcat 24-yard line. Correction, we'll call it 23. So Key will take over, 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 23 as they come up to the line. Mutterman takes a snap, hands off to Getzinger, met in the backfield, and Mekhi Benton is going to help finish it off. A couple of Wildcats in there as well. Braxton Davis, Luke Birds fell on him. Nothing there for Getzinger as the Wildcats were in there right away. No gain on that play. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 23. Not much running room for Getzinger so far in this game. He's ran it 3 times. He's only picked up 4 yards for the Keyhawks. Key back up to the line. I formation again. Mutterman under center. A couple of backs behind him, Peterson and Getzinger. The handoff will go to Getzinger. No, it's a play-action pass. Steps up, Benton's there. Can't bring him down, but Braxton Davis can. And that is a sack for the Wildcats. Braxton Davis with the first solo sack of his career. He had a half sack last week, but that one was all Braxton as the sophomore brings him down. And it's going to be 3rd down and long. They're going to spot the football at the 26-yard line. We'll call that 3rd down and 13. Great defensive play by the Wildcats. Mekhi Benton was there first, couldn't make the play, but Braxton certainly could. 3rd and 13 coming up. Twin receivers left, one to the right, as the center did not snap the football. Tom Trondle handling the center duties for Key here tonight, and that will draw the flag as everybody went besides the football. Trondle didn't snap it. 5-yard penalty for the false start. As that's going to be 3rd down and even longer now. 3rd down and 18 from the 31. 3rd and 18 upcoming as the Keyhawks come up to the line. Twin receivers right. Mutterman under center. He's going to drop back in the pocket. Betzer's there, goes long down the field, got a man. It's incomplete. Great defense by Lucas Greif as Andrew Colesrud was there, but Greif poked the ball, knocked it out of the air, goes to the ground incomplete. 4th and very long upcoming. 4th down and 18 from the 31. We'll see what Key goes with here. 6:53 to play in our opening quarter. Wildcats fumbled the ball away on their first possession. Key got it to start the game, went 3 and out. They have it back now, but they're faced with 4th and very long. Twin receivers to either side for Key. Mutterman in the shotgun, standing at the 35. 4th down and 18. Mutterman drops back, pressure in his face. He's in big trouble. Benton's there, and he's going to bring him down well in the backfield, back to about midfield. Makai Benton had a fantastic opening game last week. 2.5 tackles for loss, finished with 2 sacks. This time, Benton sacks him all the way back to the 39. Wildcats will take over first down and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Couple of sacks on that possession for the Wildcats. That one loses 8 and results in the turnover on downs. So Wildcats get their second possession as they come up to the line of scrimmage. First and 10 from their own 39. Hansen and Klosterman back there to take the snap. It will go to Aiden Klosterman. Finds a hole, gets past midfield. There's a flag on the play as Klosterman's going to be taken down at about the 35-yard line. But we'll see what that flag is. This one seems to be coming back as holding is called against Central City. And that will drive him back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So holding is the call. And that takes Aiden's first down run off the board. We'll see where they spot it after they march off the penalty yardage. It'll be back to the 29 as the Wildcats will now try first down again. First and 20 from their own 29. Wildcats up to the line. First down and 20. They need to get all the way over to the 31 to move the chains here from the 29. Snap goes to Aiden Klosterman. Finds a hole. Up past the 35. Dragged down by the ankles. Carson Strong made the stop. The nose tackle dove for his ankles and got him. But it helps the Wildcats out there as Aiden gets across the 35 up to the 36. It's a gain of 7 on first and 20. It'll make second down much more manageable here. Second down and 13 upcoming. So second down and 13 from the 36 now. As twin receivers left, that's Lucas Greif and Aiden Klosterman. Matthew Klosterman is to the right. Jaden Hansen takes the shotgun snap. QB draw up the middle. Bounces off one tackler. Now going down the sideline. And he's dragged down by the ankles by Carter Seats. Otherwise, he had plenty of room and a foot race in front of him. But nonetheless, it's a nice run by Jaden Hansen. Designed quarterback run across midfield up to the 37-yard line of the Keyhawks. And that's going to make it third down and 6. Third and 6 upcoming for the Wildcats. And can't imagine a punt situation here. More than likely 4-down territory. 2 receivers right. Matthew Klosterman is to the left. Hansen in the shotgun, standing at his own 38. Aiden Klosterman comes in motion. High snap. It's a quick pass. Screen pass over to Lucas Greif, but it's incomplete. And that is going to bring up fourth down. Lucas Greif, the intended receiver on that screen pass, but it didn't get set up properly as the snap was also high. Certainly helped throw off the timing. And that'll bring up fourth down and 6 from the 37. As I assumed, 4-down territory for the Wildcats as they're going to split Lucas Greif out to the right. Hansen in the shotgun with Aiden Klosterman to his right. Takes the snap, dropping back, some pressure, goes long. Lucas Greif has a step. He's there, but it's incomplete, just overthrown. And that'll be a turnover on downs. As we're going to have a timeout for water here on this hot, humid night. As Lucas Greif had a step on Carter Seats, won the foot race down the sideline, but the ball was just so slightly overthrown. And that turns it over. Key will take over first and 10 from their own 37-yard line. 5:11 remaining in our opening quarter. We're scoreless here from Lansing. I'm David Warrington here on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. Key got it first to begin the ball game. They went 3 and out, and the Wildcats turned it over. Key got it back and seemed to be moving somewhat effectively, but that was halted by a couple of sacks. And the Wildcats were harmed by a holding penalty on the first play of this previous possession and a shot down the sideline to Lucas Greif. Went incomplete after that one was just ever so slightly overthrown. Lucas about a step short of it. So now after this timeout, Key will take over first and 10 from their own 37. Wildcat defense is back out there. The Key offense is still on the sideline, but they'll be joining the Wildcats momentarily as we resume play. Key wearing all purple here tonight. Purple helmets, jerseys, and pants. Wildcats with red helmets, white jerseys, and black pants. As the Keyhawks come back up to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 from their own 37. Looks like they'll have a receiver split out to the left. And that guy comes in motion. That's Peterson. It'll be a pitch out to Peterson. It's a pass. Peterson is going to throw. It's going to be picked off. Aiden Klosterman picks it off, and he's going to return it past the 30. Going past the 35. Makes a move past midfield. Down the 35, and finally dragged out of bounds past the 30. As the trickery comes back to haunt Key there, Hunter Peterson, the starting fullback, was throwing a pass that time, but it was picked off by Aiden Klosterman. Great return, sets the Wildcats up past the 35, looks like right at the 35-yard line in Key territory. Great job there by Aiden, not just on the interception, but also on the return. So Wildcats take over. 1st and 10 from the Key 35 as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Hansen in the shotgun. Aiden Klosterman's to his right. Lucas Greif is over on the left side as Hansen comes in motion and looks like, I believe that was Tom Trondle went over the football. And that's going to be a 5-yard penalty called against Key, as now it's going to be 1st down and 5 for Central City from the 30. So Wildcats will actually begin this possession from the Key 30. 1st down and 5. 4:59 to go in our opening quarter as the Wildcats come back up to the line. Hansen in the shotgun with Klosterman to his right. Klosterman will take the snap. He's going to run it up the middle. Tries to find a hole, but not much there as he's taken down for a couple of yards. Gets up past the 30 to the 28. We'll call that a gain of 2 from Klosterman. It'll set up 2nd down and 3 from the Key 28. Not a bad start to Klosterman's game so far. He's ran the football 4 times, and he's picked up 19 yards. Hansen has also ran it twice. He's picked up 3 yards. Wildcats up to the line. 2nd and 3 from the 28. Hansen and Klosterman in the shotgun. Christopher Greif is the fullback. Klosterman takes it again, going to the right. Rolfs is there, but he's going to beat him out to the corner. He's going to sneak out of a tackle somehow, and that should be a 1st down. Great running by Aiden Klosterman. Very impressive mixture of speed and toughness on that run as he plows over a couple guys, and he just beat Rolfs down the sideline, or otherwise he would have been taken down in the backfield. As Klosterman brings it up to the 24-yard line, gain of 4, and that's a 1st down for Central City. 1st down and 10 from the Key 24-yard line. We're still scoreless here from Lansing. 4:19 remaining in our opening quarter. Neither team has used a timeout as the Wildcats come up to the line. Again, Hansen, and this time I believe that is Matthew Klosterman back there to take the snap. Matthew will take it, going to the left. And Tom Trondle meets him in the backfield, and they blow the play dead very early as Klosterman never left his feet. But it was whistled dead, and that's going to be a very sizable loss for Central City. That's going to be a loss of 6 back to the 30. It's 2nd down and 16. Unfortunately, early whistle there from the official along, I believe it was along the Key sideline, as he blew that one dead before Klosterman had actually been brought to the ground. He broke out of Trondle's tackle attempt. Nonetheless, 2nd down and 16. Ball spotted at the 30. Lucas Greif split out right. Hansen in the shotgun. Matthew Klosterman to his right. It's going to be a play-action pass. Going down the field. Greif is there. It's a great ball, and that's going to be caught, and it's a Wildcat touchdown. 30 yards for a Central City score. Perfect ball from Hansen to Greif, and the Wildcats strike first here from Lansing. Absolutely beautiful ball from the junior quarterback, and the Wildcats strike first. It's 6-0 with 3:28 to go in our opening quarter. Wildcats will go for 2 as they strike first here from Lansing. Ball's in the left hash for the 2-point conversion attempt as the Wildcats come up to the line of scrimmage. Hansen's in the shotgun. Matthew Klosterman to his right. Lucas Greif is split out to the right, just to the right of the tight end, Mekhi Benton. Now Matthew Klosterman goes all the way to the sideline. Hansen takes the snap. Clean pocket. Pump fakes a couple times. Now he's running to his right. Gets rid of it. Back of the end zone. It's overthrown. Incomplete. Great job by Hansen to try to keep that play alive, but the pass is overthrown. It's incomplete. 2-point conversion is no good. 3:28 remaining in our first quarter. Wildcats strike first. They lead this one 6-0. So after a couple of back and forth possessions of nothing happening for both teams, the Wildcats finally get something going as Central City leads this one 6-0 over the Keyhawks. Key played in a back and forth game last week in Maynard against West Central. Wildcats will meet West Central later this year. That was an adjustment to the schedule after Calamus Wheatland dropped their varsity program. I have a little bit more about that at halftime, but just know Central City will go to Maynard instead of Wyoming in Week 7 on October 7th, taking on West Central instead of Calamus Wheatland. Key takes the field first to receive the kickoff. Carter Getzinger and Carter Seitz are back deep to return. Looks like Andrew Colesrud and I want to say Jackson Schulte are the two set up at the 20 as the first line of blockers. Wildcats back out onto the field as Jaden Hansen will kick it away. This time it is going to be Colton Welton, the freshman, is out there as the decoy kicker, if you will. As Hansen getting the ball set. Last time his kickoff was just shy of being a touchback. As Hansen has the ball set. As Hansen marches off his steps, and he will get set to kick it away. Gets the ready-to-play whistle. Gets the all clear from his teammates, and he comes up to the football. Hansen puts a boot into it. A little bit of a shorter kick, but still a pretty good one. Getzinger fields at the 5, up to the 10, past the 15. Arwen Betzer's there, so is Nolan Gates, and they're going to bring him down at about the 15-yard line. Great job by that Wildcat kickoff team to get down there. It's going to be the same as if it were a touchback for Kee. Looks like they're going to take over at their own 15-yard line. So Kee will get their third possession of the game going from their own 15 after the return by Getzinger. 3:22 to go in our opening quarter. Hawks in the I formation. Mutterman under center. Takes a snap. Hands it off up the middle to the fullback, Peterson. Absolutely nothing there. Maybe a half yard. Wildcat defense shut that one down in a hurry. As we'll give them a yard. And it's going to be 2nd down and 9 from their own 16. Wildcats on top of this one, 6-0. 3 minutes to go in our opening quarter as the Hawks are back up to the line, still in the I formation. And there's a whistle before the snap. Flag comes out. Flag thrown by the official along the Kee sideline. And that is going to be offsides called against Central City. So 2nd and 9 will become 2nd down and 4, as that is a 5-yard penalty. So they'll move the ball up to the 21-yard line. Kee has it 2nd and 4 from their own 21. Hawks up to the line, still in the I formation. Mutterman under center, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going down the right sideline. He's got some space, past the 30, 35, wrapped up and taken out of bounds shy of midfield. Nolan Gates made the stop. That'll be more than enough for a 1st down for Kee, as they're going to have it just shy of midfield. Ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for Kee. Mutterman makes up for some of the sack yardage he took earlier as he brings that one 16 yards down the field. And it's 1st down and 10 for Kee from their own 37. I formation for the Hawks. And it looks like the nose tackle for the Wildcats fell over the ball. That'll be another offside, 2nd and just a couple of plays, as I believe that was Dayton Price. As it's going to be 1st down and 5 for Central City. And Kee will have the football from the Wildcat 37. 2:30 to go in our opening quarter. Wildcats lead this one 6-0 as the Kee Hawks come back up to the line. I formation for Kee. Mutterman hands it off at the middle to Peterson, and nothing there as he's met right away. Might have gotten a couple yards there as they bring it up past the 35. They're going to call that down at the 34-yard line. So Peterson gets a couple of yards on that carry. Pushes the pile forward for a gain of 3. 2nd down and 2 from the 34. High formation again. QB sneak as Mutterman takes it, and he'll have 1st down yardage. And he's going to be stopped at about the 30. Several white jerseys bring him down, but not before he picks up the 1st down, and that will move the chains for Kee as they keep this drive going. They will spot the football at the 30-yard line. First down and 10 from the Central City 30 for Kee as they come up to the line. I formation again, sticking with what's been working. Getzinger takes the handoff, going to the right. Met in the backfield, and Matthew Klosterman drops him for a loss. The sophomore led the team last week with 6 tackles. That one's going to be for loss. As Getzinger loses a yard on that carry, it'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 31-yard line. 2nd down and 11 upcoming for Key. 1 minute to go in our opening quarter. Hawks back up to the line. High formation, Mutterman under center. Takes a snap. They almost lose it. Mutterman just hangs on to it, makes Hansen miss, going down the sideline past the 20 to the 15. Mackay Benton's going to wrap him up inside the 10, as what was nearly a fumble leads to a 1st and goal situation potentially upcoming, if not very close to it. They might spot it at the 11. It's a gain of 20 on that carry for Mutterman. That's going to be 1st down and 10 from the 11. 44 seconds remain in their opening quarter. As Mutterman takes the play call from head coach Chad Winters in his 10th season with the Hawks. Record of 38 wins, 48 losses during his time in Lansing. As they break the huddle, staying with the I formation. That's been working for him in this possession so far. Mutterman takes a snap, handoff up the middle to Peterson, and he's not going to be too much there for him as he gains a couple, brought it past the 10 to about the 9, but not too much more. As we'll call that a gain of 2 up to the 9, 2nd down and 8 upcoming. As I don't believe the Hawks have to run another play, but they certainly have the time to do so. Closing moments of our opening quarter. Key Hawks trail this one 6-0, but they have 2nd down and 8 from the 9. Like I said, they don't have to snap it, and it now appears they will not. As Mutterman's just on the sideline getting some water. And this will bring us to the end of a quarter of football here from Lansing as the final 5 seconds run off the clock. We've played 1 quarter here from Lansing. Wildcats lead the Key Hawks by a score of 6-0. While we've got a break in the action, I'll go ahead and give a shout out to our sole sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal, so to each individual. That's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. As always, can't thank Heartland Bank, formerly known as Next Bank, enough for their contributions to Central City, the community, and of course the broadcasts I bring you every Friday night throughout the football season. Key will have 2nd down and 8 from the 9 to begin the 2nd quarter. Let's take a look at those first quarter stats. First for the Wildcats, Jaden Hansen passed it 5 times and completed 3 for 30 yards and a touchdown. In the running game, Aiden Closeman ran the football 5 times for 23 yards. Jaden Hansen 2 carries for 3 yards. And Matthew Closeman ran it once and he lost 6. In the receiving game, Lucas Greif caught 2 passes for 30 yards. And Matthew Closeman, and I should mention, one of Greif's receptions was for a touchdown. Matthew Closeman 1 catch, but no yardage on that play. Looking at the stats for Key in the first quarter, Hunter Peterson had that trick play where he threw it, the fullback, but he was 0 for 1 with the interception. Aiden Closeman picked him off, and Dalton Mutterman attempted only 2 passes, completed 1, but it was for no gain. Dalton Mutterman ran the ball 5 times for 29 yards, and that doesn't tell the whole story because some of those yards were lost on plays where he was sacked. He had a nice first quarter running the football. Hunter Peterson ran it 3 times for 6 yards. Carter Getzinger had his struggles, 4 carries for 3 yards. So there's your first quarter stats. Wildcats looking to get a stop here. 2nd down and 8 from the 9. As both teams make their way back onto the field. As I said, it's a hot one here in Lansing. Believe it's just listed at 80 degrees, but it feels significantly warmer than that even. As we got a real feel of 85 here in Lansing. Hawks jogging back onto the field. 2nd down and 8 from the Wildcat 9, trying to even this one up or potentially take a lead with a 2-point conversion. Wildcat defense will look to hold strong. Wildcats now working left to right. Key Hawks will be trying to score on this next couple plays, working right to left. High formation for the Hawks. Has a little bit of movement, but no call, as that's going to be Getzinger taking it up the middle. Gates a couple yards, but Christopher Greif and Matthew Closeman, Nolan Gates alongside Christopher Greif helped to stop that play for a minimal gain. There was some yardage to be found there for Getzinger as he brings it to about the 6-yard line. We'll call that a gain of 3. And 3rd down and 5 is upcoming. 3rd down and 5 for Key from the 6. They can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. That would only happen if they got it to the 1-yard line, which would set up 1st and goal from 3 feet out. Hawks break the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to change up the formation for the first time in a while, as both of the backs split out to the left and right respectively. Now Getzinger comes in motion to the left. Pitch out there to Getzinger. Matthew Klosterman's there. Flag comes in, as that's going to be a loss on the play as Jaden Hansen lowers his shoulder and knocks Getzinger out of bounds. But let's first wait on the flag to see what the result of that penalty marker is. Here comes the call. Holding is called against the Hawks. That would make it 3rd down and long, but otherwise it's going to be 4th and long. So we'll see what Coach Myers decides to do here. Officials waiting on a call from Coach Myers. Believe I heard him say he declines it, and that is the indication. The penalty is declined, as it was. Getzinger lost 4 on the carry. So it's going to be 4th down and 9 from the 10. Just over 11 minutes remaining in our second quarter. Wildcats trying to hold the Keyhawks out of the end zone here. 4th down and 9 from the Wildcat 10 is what the Keyhawks have. Wildcats lead this game 6-0 so far. Key comes up to the line. 4th down and 9 from the 10. Twin receivers to either side. Mutterman stands at the 15 in the shotgun, all by himself. Peterson comes in motion. Fakes the handoff. Now he's going to look to throw. Price is there right away. Mutterman's in trouble. He's going to try to take off, but he's going to be sacked. And that's a turnover on downs back at the 15. Makai Benton got in there again. He's been an absolute monster in these first 5 quarters of the season. And that'll be another sack. Absolutely nothing going for Dalton Mutterman, as he's been met in the backfield a whole bunch so far in this ball game. Loss of 4, turnover on downs. Wildcats have it 1st and 10 from their own 14. So great defensive stop from Central City after, for a pretty good while, the Hawks drove it down and got close to their end zone. But the Wildcats hold strong, and now they'll have 1st and 10 from their own 14. Twin receivers right. Hansen in the shotgun, standing back at the 9-yard line. He takes a snap at the QB draw up the middle. He'll get past the 15, drags the pile several yards, close to the 20. Not a bad run there by Jaden Hansen, as we are going to spot that football at the 19. That is a gain of 5 on 1st down. 2nd down and 5 from the 19 upcoming. Jaden Hansen, 3 carries, 8 yards so far. Got 5 of them on that previous play, as Hansen jogs into the huddle with the play call. Wildcats break their huddle now up to the line of scrimmage. Aiden Klosterman and Lucas Greif split out to the left. Matthew Klosterman is to the right. Hansen in the shotgun. Takes a snap, drops back. Protection is there. Gets over to Klosterman, in and out of the hands and incomplete. Matthew Klosterman, the intended receiver that time, an out route going to the right. But it goes incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd down and 5. Wildcats 3rd and 5 from their own 19. As Makai Benton throws on his helmet and jogs onto the field for this 3rd down play. Now Hansen jogs in with the play call from Coach Myers. Matthew Klosterman will exit the ball game for this 3rd down play. Wildcats come up to the line of scrimmage. Lucas Greif is split out to the left. He caught the touchdown pass earlier on. Hansen in the shotgun, takes the snap. We got a flag, and I believe that's going to be false start. It does appear to be the indication. So 3rd and 5 has turned into 3rd and 10. False start called on Central City. And they're back to their own 14. 3rd down and 10. Ready to play whistle is given. Wildcats still in the huddle. 3rd down and 10 from their own 14 upcoming as they come up to the line. Lucas Greif split out to the right. Hansen in the shotgun. Aiden Klosterman's to his right. Remember, don't be surprised if Klosterman does take a snap every now and again. Hansen takes the shotgun snap, steps up, but he's in trouble. Jacob Rolfs brings him down for a sack. And it's going to be punting time for Central City deep inside their own territory. Loss of 4 on that play, as it is going to be 4th down and 14 from their own 10. So the punt team is out there for Central City. Aiden Klosterman is the punter for the Wildcats. He averaged 24.8 per punt last week. And now we got a flag on this play before the snap. It's going to be called against Central City. And I think they had too many men on the field. Believe too many men on the field is the call. That'll make it 4th down and 19, way back at their own 5. Now getting into dangerous territory here for the Wildcats. Carter Seats is back deep to return for Key, set up just in front of midfield. Jaden Hansen will snap it. Aiden Klosterman will punt it away just beyond the goal line. Somewhat low snap, but he handles it no problem. Kicks away. Not a bad one, especially given the circumstances. It will take a Wildcat bounce, and it's going to die over the other side of midfield. Hansen downs it. And the Keyhawks will take over, first down and 10 from their own 38. So Key has the football from their own 38. 9:34 to play in our second quarter. 6-0 Wildcat lead here with 9:34 to go until halftime as the Keyhawks come up to the line of scrimmage. I formation for the Hawks. Peterson's the fullback, Getzinger the running back. Mutterman takes a snap, play action pass, rolling right. Betzer's there. He's going to be brought down for a sack as Braxton Davis is the one that drives him into the dirt. That's sack number 2 on the night for the big sophomore. And Mutterman's been in trouble in the backfield all night long. Another sack on that play as that drives them back to the 31. It's a loss of 7. Brings up second down and 17 from the Keyhawks 31. As Carter Seats jogs into the huddle, and Jackson Schulte will exit the ball game for Key. Key comes up to the line. Second and 17 from their own 31, back in the I formation. Mutterman takes a snap, drops back. 5-step drop, tries to get it to Getzinger. Now he will. It's caught. No, it's incomplete, in and out of the hands. Getzinger had it for a moment, but it ends up going in and out of the hands. And it'll be third down and 17 for Key from their own 31. By the way, yardage on that Klosterman punt, it ended up being a 40-yard kick, a big change in field position on that punt from Aiden Klosterman. So great job by Aiden on that. Third down and 17 from their own 31. Key breaks the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage. Twin receivers to either side. Mutterman, the sophomore quarterback, all alone in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back. It's a 3-step drop. Now he steps up. Benton's there, and it's another sack for this Central City defensive line. The Key offensive line has had no answer for the pass rush of the Wildcats. Benton's the one that got there this time, as that'll bring up fourth and very long. Loss of 5 that time, back to the 26. It's punting time once again for Key. Lucas Greif is back deep to return. He's going to set up close to the 30-yard line. Dalton Mutterman will handle the snapping duties in this punt, and Andrew Colesrud will get set to punt it away. Colesrud just in front of the 15. Good snap, handles it, gets it away. Not a bad punt, little wobbly spiral. Greif takes it, breaks out of a tackle, going past the 30. Now makes a move past the 35. He's going to be dragged down by Peterson shy of midfield. Good return by Lucas Greif as the snapper Dalton Mutterman was there right away, but he broke out of the tackle. And he will bring it up just a couple of yards shy of midfield. Central City takes over. We'll call that a return of 8 yards there by Greif. And Central City will take over first and 10 from their own 38. 7:56 to play in the second quarter. Central City leading this one 6-0. So we got a timeout for players to get rehydrated. While we're doing so, I'll give us a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank represents a new approach to banking in Iowa. Expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. Heartland Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports. Member FDIC. Again, I'll say it several times throughout the night, but certainly mean it each time. Can't thank Heartland Bank enough for their support of Central City Athletics. Would not be able to provide you with these broadcasts without their support. So thank you very much to Heartland Bank for being the sole sponsor of Wildcat Sports. Water break wrapping up here as the Wildcats are back onto the field. They will start first down and 10 from their own 38. Key still over on the sideline getting some water. And they'll be back out there momentarily. Key jogs out there. 42-yard field in front of the Wildcats. First down and 10 from their own 38. Wildcats up to the line. It's the Klosterman brothers in the backfield. Matthew on the left, Aiden on the right. Aiden takes most of the snaps. Matthew could take one every now and again. That one will go to Aiden. It's high, but he handles it. Going up the field, past midfield, and it's going to be taken down a little bit shy of the 35. I'm going to actually give him credit past the 35 up to the 34. It's a very good first down run by Aiden. It's going to end up being an 8-yard gain as he gets it up to the 34-yard line. Good first down run by Aiden, gain of 8, second down and 2 upcoming into Key territory at the 34. Wildcats up to the line. Second and 2 from the 34. Klosterman brothers back to take the snap. Again, Aiden takes it. Met in the backfield, breaks out of a tackle from Peterson. Trondle brings him down. He'll do well to not lose any yardage on that play, as Aiden will get it back to the 34. Looks like he might have actually gained a yard to the 33. So we'll call that a gain of 1. Third down in the yard is upcoming. So third down and 1 from the Key 33. Hanson in the shotgun, takes snap, but we got a flag, and it's going to be false start. And false start is going to be called on Central City. So that makes 3rd and 1, 3rd and 6. Back to the 38, 3rd down and 6 from the Key 38.
That was a perfect counter. The end on this side was 10 yards deep.
Wildcats up to the line. This third down conversion comes a little bit harder here on 3rd and 6. Hanson in the shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Now he's going to take off the middle. He's going to have the first down yardage. Great run there by Hanson, bumping off of purple jerseys and somehow gets past the 35, close to the 30. That's going to be a first down for Central City. Great third down run by the junior quarterback of the Wildcats. And that's a fresh set of downs up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 8. First down and 10. Hanson jogs into the huddle. Again, Wildcats leading this one 6-0. Jaden Hanson connected with Lucas Greif from 30 yards out. That is the difference in this ball game so far. Hanson in the shotgun, Klosterman to his right. The snap will go to Klosterman. Going up the middle, but he's met by a couple of purple jerseys. Spins forward and gains a couple yards, but that was pretty well defended by the Keyhawks. They're going to credit Aiden for a gain of 2 up to the 28. It'll be second down and 8 upcoming. Second down and 8 from the Key 28 for Central City. 5:40 and counting to play in our opening half of football here from Lansing. Wildcats up to the line. Hanson in the shotgun. This time it's Matthew Klosterman to his left. Matthew will take the snap. Up past the 30, past the 25, and he's dragged down shy of a first down, but not shy of it by much. Good run that time by Matthew Klosterman. Gets it up past the 25. They're going to spot that one at the 22-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 is all. Wildcats need the 20 to move the chains. 5 minutes remain in our opening half of football here from Lansing. For an 8-player game, it's certainly been low scoring so far. 3rd down and 2. Matthew Klosterman takes a snap up the middle, and he will have the first down and more. He's picked up, upended, but he somehow fights forward. Great second effort by Matthew Klosterman, as he's going to gain about 7 on that carry, despite being nearly upended about 5 yards earlier than that. As a sophomore brings the ball up to the 15-yard line. First down and 10, Central City, 15 yards away from the goal line. Matthew Klosterman will run off as big brother Aiden replaces him. As the Wildcats break the huddle. Central City up to the line. 1st and 10 from the 15. Hanson in the shotgun, Klosterman to his right. Hanson takes the snap. He's going to keep it up the middle. It's congested in there, but he bounces off a couple of guys to at least gain about a yard on that play. Not much room there for Hanson, but he brought it past the 15 up to the 14. We'll call that a gain of 1. That's going to bring up second down and 9. Aiden Klosterman jogs into the huddle. Second and long for Central City after just a gain of 1 on that previous play. Hansen in the shotgun, but we got a stoppage of play, and looks like Kee is going to use their first timeout of the game. So Kee calls timeout. That is their first. They have 2 remaining until half. 3:41 to play in our opening half of football here from Lansing. Wildcats lead the Hawks 6-0. It's been a low-scoring affair here from Lansing to this point. Wildcats lead at 6-0. They'll have second down and 9 from the 14-yard line, trying to double their lead. Wildcats still have all 3 timeouts. Kee just used their first. 3:41 to play until the half. A couple of messages here from a familiar face, Keegan Kula. Let's go Cats. And thanks for the compliment, Keegan. David is the GOAT announcer. I don't know about that, but I certainly appreciate you listening in. Wildcats lead this one 6-0. Kee ready to go as they come back onto the field. And the Wildcat offense jogs out there as well. Second down and 9 for Central City from the 14. Jaden Hansen in the shotgun. Aiden Klosterman's to his right. We'll see which one of those two takes the snap. It's going to be Aiden, but there is a flag on the play thrown by the official near the Wildcat sideline. And I believe he just indicated false start. Referee gives the same indication, and false start is called against Central City. Penalties have been something of an issue here in this first half for Central City so far. There's another one. That'll drive him back to the 19-yard line. Second down and 14 upcoming. Wildcats have been penalized 7 times so far in this first half. They've lost a total of 40 yards. Klosterman takes the snap, finds some room down the left sideline, now cuts it up, past the 15, close to the 10, tripped up. Otherwise, he may have been gone, but nonetheless, that's a good run there on second and long. It's going to set up third down and manageable as Aiden Klosterman brings it close to the 10-yard line. Call that the 11, gain of 8. It is going to be, third down and 6 for Central City from the 11 as they come up to the line. They need the 5 to move the chains. As Hansen takes the shotgun snap, he's rolling to his right. Makai Benton's open in the back of the end zone, but goes to Christopher Greif, and it's incomplete. There is a flag on the play, however. Penalty marker did come in, and it's holding against the Wildcats, so that would have come back either way. The 8th Central City penalty of this first half. And that'll drive them back. Again, holding is the call. They're going to march it back. It's a significant penalty there as they're going to spot it way back at the 28. It makes it third down and 23. Rough penalty there for the Wildcats as it's now third down and forever. Third and 23 from the Kee 28. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go until the half. Wildcats on top 6-0. See if the Wildcats take a couple shots towards the end zone. Lucas Greif is split out right. He's got the touchdown pass already. Hansen takes the snap. 3-step drop. Goes down. Lucas Greif is there in the back of the end zone. It's overthrown. Lucas Greif makes a diving effort, but he just can't quite get there. His fingertips may have actually touched it, but it's incomplete. And fourth and very long coming up for Central City. It's 4th and 23 from the Kee 28. So 4th and 23 upcoming for Central City. 28 yards away from the end zone. They need to get all the way up to the 5-yard line to move the chains. As the Wildcats break the huddle. 2 receivers left, Aiden Klosterman and Lucas Greif. Matthew Klosterman is to the right. Hansen is alone in the shotgun, back at the 33. 4th and 23, Hansen takes the snap. Clean pocket, steps up, gets rid of it. Aiden Klosterman's there, past the 5. It's a 4th and 23, touchdown for Central City. The Wildcats convert on 4th down and 23. Jaden Hansen to Aiden Klosterman. 28 yards for a touchdown, and the Wildcats lead it 12-0. The Wildcats strike just before the half. And they're going to go for 2 to try to make it 14-0. Our score here from Lansing as the Wildcats line up to go for 2. Wildcats up to the line. Hansen in the shotgun. One receiver left, two to the right. All receivers are tight to the line of scrimmage. And we got a stoppage of play. Timeout called by Central City just before the snap. So Central City uses their first timeout of this game. They've got 2 to go until the half. 2:51 remaining in our first half. 2-point conversion upcoming. As of now, our score, Central City 12, Key 0. I'll take this opportunity to give another shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. So 2-point conversion attempt upcoming as the Wildcats jog onto the field. Key is going to join them. Wildcats try to make it 14-0. 2:51 to play until the half. Wildcats just made it a 2-score game. Same formation as before. But Luke Birds is now lined up to the left. Actually, it's a different formation. My apologies. As Hansen takes the snap, pump fakes, goes to the end zone, but it's tipped and actually picked off. But the play is dead. You can't return an interception on a conversion attempt, so the play is just dead. As 2-point conversion is no good. 2:51 to play until the half. Our score, Central City 12, Key 0. So Central City will kick it away here momentarily, as they've made it a 2-score game here with just a couple of minutes to go until the half. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining, especially important for Key, as they'll have not quite a 2-minute drill, but just about in that range. 2:51 until the half. Both teams taking their time before they jog back out. 2:51, as I said, is the time on the clock until the half. Both teams back out there now. Looks like a little change on the kick return game for Key. Carter Seats is still out there, but they've also got, looks like Ben Frankischetti, 5'8" senior receiver, is back deep to return. He's on the right, whereas Carter Seats lined up on the left. Jaden Hansen is going to place the football, and he'll get set to kick it away. Jaden Hansen marches off his steps. He'll kick it away as we get set to resume play. Hansen comes up, takes his approach, kicks away. That's a pretty good one. End over end kick, fielded at the 3. Seats on the return past the 10, 15 to the 20. He's met and brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Key will take over with a fairly long field in front of him after pretty good kick coverage on that one from the Wildcats. They're going to spot that at the 23-yard line. Central City will look to stop the Hawks for the final 2:47 of this opening half. So 2:47 to play until the half. Hawks up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from their own 23. Mutterman under center. Getzinger comes in motion to the right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. No play action pass. Or actually he's going to try to take off, but there's nothing there. Hansen gets there first. Braxton Davis is going to help finish it off. Nothing there for Dalton Mutterman on that play, as he faked the handoff, then tried to go over to the right. For a moment, I thought he was passing it, but it was just an option play, as Mutterman has taken some abuse in this first half. They're officially going to call it no gain, so not a tackle for loss, but just as good as one. 2nd down and 10 from their own 23 for Key. And, of course, the clock does not stop on that play. 2:15 and counting until the half. Key taking their time in the huddle here. Now they break the huddle with just over 2 minutes to go until halftime. 2 receivers split out left for Key. As Carter Seats is in there, he's going to line up at tight end. Mutterman under center. Getzinger's the back. We got a flag on the play, and I believe delay of game. I mentioned they were taking quite some time to get up there, as it turned out a little bit too long, as that'll march them back 5. 2nd and 15 upcoming. So that'll march them back to the 18-yard line, where they have 2nd down and 15. 150 and counting. Andrew Colesrud runs in the play call for Key. We'll almost reach the half here from Lansing. Wildcats winning this game 12-0 so far, 90 seconds until the half. Two receivers to the right, Mutterman under center, and we got some movement. That's going to be a false start as the tight end Andrew Colesrud left early. False start is the call, so another 5-yard loss there on the penalty for Kee. Back-to-back penalties makes it 2nd down and 20 from their own 13.
Well, the game clock should have been running.
So 1:27 on the clock as it is now running. Looks like they had an extra player in there. Did the Hawks on their huddle as looks like Colesrud jogs off. Kee up to the line. Twin receivers right. Mutterman under center. Believe Getzinger is the back. It's going to be a 5-step drop on this pass. A screen pass to Getzinger. He catches it this time, and he's going to be met. And the ball's loose, but I think they got on it. Kee got on the football. And it looks like may have an injury. Nope, everybody's going to get up okay. Carson Strong, one of the guards, recovered the fumble. But that'll actually end up in a fairly sizable loss on that play. Loss of 4 after the fumble. And we've got a timeout. Looks like timeout called by Central City. They use the timeout with 45 seconds until the half. 12-0 Wildcat lead. That is their 2nd timeout. And as I said, they lead this one 12-0. So we'll give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank, once again during this timeout. Wildcats going to get it back, but first, got to thank Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is everywhere you are. With our online and mobile banking apps, you have your account at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. 45 seconds on the clock. Wildcats managed to score just before the half last week. They called the timeout and try to preserve a little bit of clock. See if they can find some of that magic again here. Officially, it's going to be 3rd and 24 for Kee from their own 9.
Move the corners, moving back a little. Secondary.
Kee jogs onto the field. Wildcats need a big stop here on 3rd and very long. Try to get the ball back. Mutterman under center. Twin receivers right, takes the snap, handoff up the middle. No, he's going to keep it and go into the left side of the field. He's going to be met by Aiden Klosterman, not much there. And Central City uses another timeout. That is their final timeout, none left in this first half. As we'll see where they spotted that football. They're going to put it at about the 13-yard line, it looks like. That is where they spot it, so gain of 4 from Mutterman. 4th and 20 upcoming from their own 13. As the Wildcats are out of timeouts. 39 seconds to go until the half. Central City on top of Kee, 12-0. Sun almost completely down here in Lansing, almost 8 o'clock. Heat not subsiding, however, still a very humid night. Now there's supposed to be storms overnight that kind of cool things off a little bit. Should be a nice day for week 1 of college football. Tomorrow night, both Iowa and Iowa State open their season in their home stadiums. Iowa will host South Dakota State. Iowa State hosts Southeast Missouri State. Whereas UNI Panthers will start the year in Colorado taking on Air Force. Some great state football being played at the collegiate level. Tomorrow afternoon here in Lansing, Wildcats will get it back. Lucas Greif set up to return back at about the 35. Andrew Colesrud gets set to punt it away. Pretty good snap from Mutterman. Colesrud gets the kick away. Very high punt. Good hang time on that one. It's on the ground, and Kee might have gotten it. Kee might have gotten the football, and they did. Carter Seats jogged down there and got it. 32 seconds to go until the half. Kee is going to get the football at the Wildcat 39-yard line. Not what the Wildcats needed there. So Kee will keep the football after the fumble. 1st down and 10, Kee Hawks from the Wildcat 39. Kee breaks the huddle. 32 seconds to go. Kee has 2 timeouts. Twin receivers right, Mutterman under center. Going to roll to his right. Mekhi Benton's there from the blind side, and that's going to be An incomplete pass, I believe, was the call. Yep, the ball ends up nearly, or it actually does go all the way to the fence behind the Wildcats sideline as Benson was coming in untouched. House of fire there on that pass rush. Officially going to be ruled an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 upcoming. 2nd and 10 from the Wildcat 39-yard line. We've got 28 seconds on the clock until the half. Hawks back up to the line. Twin receivers left. Mutterman under center. Getzinger is the running back. Ball's on the ground. It's loose. It's still loose. It's going back. And the Wildcats got it. Central City got the fumble. Dayton Price jumped on it. So another big momentum swing in this one as Central City will now have it. 24 seconds until the half. No timeouts left for the Wildcats. They're going to have it from the Key 32-yard line. This one just keeps twisting and turning. Now Central City gets it. Central City up to the line. Twin receivers left. Twins to the right as well. Hansen takes the snap. In trouble right away. He's going to try to take off. Going to try to make something out of nothing there as he will gain a couple of yards. There's not much there for Jaden. The pressure was there right away. He did get out of bounds. And looks like he got up to the 30-yard line. So we'll call it a gain of 2. Central City 2nd down and 8. 18 seconds until the half. Jaden Hansen jogs into the huddle. No timeouts left for Central City. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, or excuse me, 2 to the right. Hansen by himself in the shotgun. Lucas Greif comes in motion. Fake the jet sweep. Hansen up the middle. Past the 25. There's some room. Blocking downfield. Going to get past the 20 and taken down inbounds. So the clock will stop for the chains to move. 11 seconds. Once the chains are set, the clock will continue.
Get on the line.
Wildcats going to get up there and clock it. Hansen's in the shotgun. Clock is running. 8 seconds. Hansen takes the snap. Gets rid of it. Lucas Greif is there, but it's incomplete. Clock will stop with 4 seconds left until the half. As the Wildcats will have maybe 2, more than likely just 1 chance here before the half. Wildcats lead this one 12-0 just before the half. Hansen just ran it past the 20, up to the 17. They quickly hustled up there and ran the play, but the pass was incomplete. So now likely just 1 more chance for Central City before the half. 2nd down and 10 from the 17. Back judges warning they're running out of time. Down to 5 seconds on the play clock. 4, 3, 2. The flag's about to come out, but they get the snap off. Hansen steps up, going deep. Aiden Klosterman's there. It's incomplete over his head, and there's no time left on the clock. So that is going to do it for our first half here from Lansing. Wildcats with an excellent defensive first half. Offense had its moments. Good enough to give the Wildcats a 2-score lead here after 2 quarters of football from Lansing. Our score, Central City 12, Key 0. So very exciting last 60 seconds or so of that first half. Wildcats come away with the 12-0 lead as we have halftime here, 15 minutes on the clock. Wildcats will get it first once we get the second half of action underway here from Lansing. Again, they lead this one 12-0. So let's take a look at our first half statistics here at the half. First for your Central City Wildcats, Jaden Hansen completed 4 of his 10 passes, 58 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the ground, Aiden Klosterman ran it 9 times, 42 yards. Jaden Hansen, 7 carries, 32 yards. Matthew Klosterman, 3 carries for 7 yards. In the receiving game, Lucas Greif caught 2 passes, 30 yards and a touchdown. Aiden caught 1 pass for 28 yards, and that 4th and 23 touchdown. Matthew Klosterman, 1 pass for no yardage on that play. Looking at Key, Dalton Mutterman, 2 of 5 for a total of -4 yards in that first half. Hunter Peterson, 0 of 1 on that trick play. His pass was intercepted by Aiden Klosterman. In the rushing game, Dalton Mutterman, 11 carries, 17 yards, and a fumble in that first half. Hunter Peterson, 3 carries for 6 yards. Carter Getzinger had his struggles, 6 carries for 2 yards for the senior running back. In the receiving game, Carter Getzinger caught 2 passes, ended up with a loss of 4 after a fumble on one of those completions. So again, we are at the half here from Lansing. Wildcats on top 12-0. May as well be scoreless when you're thinking about an 11-player game, when you think about a low-scoring game. 12-0, almost unheard of at the half for an 8-player contest, but that's where we're at here from Lansing. Give a quick shout-out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. From your first checking account to your first car, first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between, Heartland Bank people relate because they're your people. They're in your community, sitting beside you at the kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Heartland Bank. Member FDIC. Here at the half, we will see if we can get some scores from around the district. Of course, district play underway this week. That is what counts towards playoff qualification, but it is worth mentioning only 4 of the 6 teams in the district this week do have district games. I mentioned in the open, I'll touch on it again here. Calamus, Wheatland, and Central Elkader both dropped varsity football, didn't have the numbers or the experience to safely field a team in their eyes, so that was the call. And those games have been dropped from varsity schedules, and the Wildcats believe I heard from Coach Ferguson before the game a replacement has been found for Central Elkader. Believe Cody Ratliff, also up here in the press box with me, believes it is the team from Illinois. That sounds like what Coach Ferguson said earlier as well. Easton Valley, speaking of teams from Illinois, they are playing a team from Illinois here tonight. Believe it is South Beloit, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, teams having some difficulties replacing those games. Of course, schedules are full. Both teams dropped fairly late in the game, especially Central Elkader. In the lead up to game week, I was still thought that we were going to be playing Elkader, but they dropped with just a few moments to go until the season started. So now with the sheet in front of me, I can confirm Easton Valley is on the road tonight at South Beloit of Illinois. Easton Valley ranked 4th in 8-player according to the latest poll from Radio Iowa. Clarksville is at Midland. That is the other non-district game taking place within district teams. The other district game happening tonight is over in Edgewood. Springville is on the road, taking on the Vikings. Reminder, only district games count towards playoff qualification. Wildcats starting 1-0 does not help them get into the playoffs, but a win tonight would certainly be a good first step as the Wildcats get this season underway. So like I said, let's see if we can get some scores from around the district. Easton Valley generally does a good job of live streaming their games. We'll see if they have theirs loaded up. Looks like not tonight. They did have to leave the state, and not sure exactly how far that is, but I would assume it's no short trek, so no live stream tonight from Easton Valley. See if we have an update from Springville. Springville on the road against Edgewood Colesburg. Would have to assume Springville will be a somewhat sizable underdog in that one. Springville lost a lot to graduation this past year. They just snuck into the playoffs as one of the 2 at-large teams this past season, but they had a rough one over at Waco this past Friday, trailing 57-0 entering the 4th quarter, put up 22 points with their JV team. Did end up losing that one by the final score of 57-22. Nine minutes, 10 seconds and counting until we get to the second half of play. Let's see if I can get an update from Springville. So they might have changed up the website and how they do things a little bit. So bear with me here as I try to find this game.
But yes. Yes, because we made Byron go there. He's been good. Now that's, I was still on the
And unfortunately, no live stream from Springville either tonight. So my apologies. Thought I could get a couple updates from those games, but no such luck so far. We'll see if Midland has an update. I do have an update from Midland at halftime. Midland leads Clarksville, but it's another low-scoring game over there in Wyoming. Midland leading Clarksville by a score of 16-12. They've reached the half in Wyoming. Again, that is a non-district game, so that will not count towards playoff qualification. Let's take a look at the upcoming football schedule for Central City. Of course, Wildcats got the win at home against Lone Tree last week, 44-21. They're here in Key tonight. Week 3 will be next Friday, back at home against Edgewood-Colesburg. That's a game they lost badly last year, but I anticipate a different story in that game on Friday. Very much looking forward to that one between the Wildcats and the Vikings. Wildcats will go to Wyoming in Week 4. They take on the Midland Eagles. That is Midland's homecoming. So Wildcats with something of a chip on their shoulder, trying to ruin homecoming for the Eagles. Week 5 is September 23rd. Number 4 team in the state, the Easton Valley Riverhawks, last year's 8-player runner-ups, lost to Caminita by just a couple of points in the state championship game at the Unidome. They'll be coming to town. That's Central City's homecoming game. That's Week 5, September 23rd. Wildcats host Easton Valley. Week 6, Wildcats go to Springville. That's a big one. They're going to try to bring back the Tractor Bowl trophy. They were moments away from doing so last year before a heartbreaking finish. Ended up with a Central City defeat, Springville keeping the Tractor Bowl trophy. Wildcats going to go into Springville on September 30th. And if all goes well, they'll head home with the Tractor Bowl trophy in tow. Week 7, October 7th, that is at West Central. Wildcats will go to Maynard for what seems to be a much improved West Central team this season. They beat Key 46-32 this past Friday. They've got a very talented running back. Brandon Cushion is that young man's name. So far through 2 games, he's rushed for 10 touchdowns. So he's been a very impressive runner so far this year for West Central. Also got to mention coach, name's escaping me at the moment, but West Central's coach has been there for over 50 years. Absolute legend in the state. Steve Milder, there it is. Coach Milder, been there forever. Done such a great job with that West Central football team. They've been down the last few years, but certainly no fault of his coaching. Just a legend in the coaching game. I was the public address announcer at the Unidome this past summer, a few weeks ago at this point, when they hosted the Shrine Bowl All-Star game of seniors from last year's class. Very unique situation to see such a talented coach and such a coach with such longevity lead a talented group of individuals. That was a fun time. Wildcats will meet up with Coach Milder's team in Week 7 on October 7th. Again, that is a non-district contest. It was originally going to be at Calamus-Wheatland, but they have dropped, and West Central kind enough to help us fill out our schedule and picking up that game. And then Week 8, as of game time, that was officially unknown, but from a couple of the Wildcat coaches, I believe I can tell you there will be a game. A team from Illinois will come into Central City. That'll be interesting. I've never seen a non-Iowa team take on your Wildcats, or I can't really think of anybody that I've seen and been there for. Of course, in Eastern Iowa, we don't see too many non-Iowa teams, but that will be the case on October 14th from the sounds of things. Wildcats will get their senior night. At least that is what I've heard so far in talking to a couple of the Wildcat coaches here tonight. Don't believe anything is confirmed, but it does seem to be a pretty good indication that Wildcats will get to host senior night to conclude the season on October 14th. September 30th against Springville will be the regular season finale for Central City. And I will add, it looks like that is Hiawatha High School out of Illinois that will be coming to Central City on October 14th. So that was just added to varsity bound. Hiawatha out of Illinois will be coming in and playing Central City. So thank you to Hiawatha High School for helping us fill out our schedule. Certainly going to have to educate myself about them when the time comes. Looks like they're called the Hawks, if I'm not mistaken. But again, thank you very much to Hiawatha High School out of Illinois for helping us complete our schedule with the cancellation of a couple of games due to teams not having the necessary numbers to fill out their schedule. 3:40 on the clock. Now let's switch gears a little bit. We'll take a look at the Central City volleyball team. It's a little more personal for me this year. My little sister Ava has gotten the move up to a varsity starter, so good job, Ava. Just started playing the sport a few years ago and now getting the start, so good job, Ava. Central City volleyball started their season at Cedar Valley Christian back on the 25th. They swept those two games, beat Waterloo Christian 2-1, Cedar Valley Christian 2-0. Then they really challenged themselves. They went to the Cascade tournament with a ton of very good teams. They dropped a game to Springville 2-1, 2 games to Waterloo East 2-1 and 2-0. That's right, Waterloo East, a big 4A, not quite a 5A, but very large school that Central City took on. Monticello, they lost 2-0. They did get a win over Central Elkader, however, winning that one 2-0. And last night, the Wildcats hit the road and went to Calamus-Wheatland. They dropped the first set 25-21, but it was smooth sailing from there, winning 25-20, 25-16, 25-19, 3-1 the final score.
They get Mr. Carlson's new North Cedar Knights tomorrow morning at Midland.
Wildcats improved to 4-4 on the season. And as Coach Ratliff up here in the press box alluded to, North Cedar on the ledger for Central City tomorrow morning at the Midland tournament. North Cedar, of course, the newest member of the Tri-Rivers Conference, but it is still a 15-team conference. Cedar Valley Christian announced about a week or so ago they will not be joining the Tri-Rivers for the next 2 years at a minimum. Cedar Valley Christian will continue paying dues to the conference and will not lose their membership when they are ready to return, but due to a lack of numbers, they will not be an official member of the conference for at least the next 2 seasons. Still a 15-team conference, 8 in the West, 7 in the East. Looking at the conference ledger coming up for Central City, they will have a tough one against, looks like Lisbon coming up within these next few days. That's a very good team. They just got bumped up to 2A, which is an unfortunate situation for them because Dyke New Hartford is possibly the best team in the whole state of Iowa, and they are a 2A team. Nonetheless, Lisbon does seem to have a good team this year. They will come to Central City on the 8th. That's the next conference matchup on the ledger for Central City. So volleyball team off to a pretty good start, challenged themselves very much at the Cascade tournament. That's where their only 4 losses have come, 2 to Waterloo East out of the new Iowa Alliance Conference. They also dropped games to Springville and Monticello. They did get a set win over Springville. They lost that one 2-1. Looks like it was back and forth the entire way. And Springville is, according to some polls, one of the top teams in all of 1A. So sounds like the Wildcats were impressive there. Very excited to get more up to date on Wildcat volleyball coming up here as they continue through their season. Wildcats back out and stretching to get the second half underway here momentarily. 30 seconds and counting on the clock, but I believe we'll have our 3-minute stretch period added on as Key is just now returning to the sidelines. So hot here tonight that several key players took off their shoulder pads to try to get a little bit extra cooled off. It's a humid one here tonight. We'll see who can respond to those tough conditions the best as we get our second half underway here shortly.
Oh, yeah, it's because there are mics on. Oh, okay. There's food if you want to.
As I touched on, shortly once the second half ended, or first half, second quarter, Central City will be getting the football first here in the third quarter. Key will kick off. They got the ball to begin the game. So Wildcats leading at 12-0. Try to get the second half started on a positive note. Clock has hit all zeros, but as I said, I believe we're going to have 3 extra minutes added on. They haven't done it yet. And looks like the referee is giving the indication up to the press box to get 3 minutes on the clock. But they don't put 3, they put 12. Still not sure what we're going to do here as the referee wanted 3 added on, but instead they put up 12, so we might just get going here to begin our third quarter. I believe we're going to get our second half underway here shortly.
Jargo, that's that kid's name.
As Central City will get it first. Again, Wildcats wearing their red helmets here tonight. White jersey, black numerals, red trim, black pants with red down the sides. All purple for the Keyhawks. Purple helmets with silver white logo. Purple jerseys with white numerals and all purple pants. Wildcats jog onto the field. We're going to get our second half underway. Wildcats will receive, and they will work left to right here in our third quarter. Key will work right to left. Wildcats getting stretched out and set to go here. Key has not taken the sideline yet, or excuse me, has not left the sideline to take the field. Now they will. They jog out there, and Key will kick off for the first time tonight. Andrew Colesrud is the kicker for Key, at least he was last week. And he does appear to have the tee, and he will do the kicking duties again for Key here tonight. Aiden Klosterman is back deep to return for Central City. He's going to set up just past his 15, about the 13-yard line. And Key will kick it off from the 30. Andrew Colesrud takes the ball, sets it on the tee. We're just about set to go here for second half action from Lansing. Wildcats lead this one 12-0 as we get set to begin the second half. 12 minutes on the clock. Colesrud with his hand in the air, waiting for the go-ahead from the officials. He gets it. And Colesrud comes up to the ball. Kick is away. Short one going towards the left sideline, but it's actually going to roll. Ends up being a pretty good kick. Klosterman picks up past the 10. Now going to the 15, down the sideline, just shy of the 20-yard line. Not a bad return there by Aiden Klosterman. And the Wildcats will set up somewhat nicely as they're going to spot it at about the 20-yard line, thereabouts. Looks like the 19. First and 10 Central City from their own 19 to begin the second half. Looks like Niall Coughlin listening in. Go Cats from Niall. Certainly agree with that sentiment here, Niall. Thanks for listening. 11:28 as the clock, looks like that was a mistake. Clock continued to roll down all the way through until just now. Nonetheless, first and 10 Central City from their own 19. Jaden Hansen's going to keep it on the QB draw, but he's met and dropped. Big hit by Peterson there. Nothing going on that first play of this second half. As we'll see where they spot that one. He might have gained a yard, and that is it. That is the case. Jaden Hansen gains a yard. Looks like Gavin Pospisil also listening in. Thanks, Gavin. Go Cats from Gavin. Plenty of former Wildcats listening in tonight. Appreciate all of you guys listening in. And Cody Ratliff here to my left. Very much excited to hear the names of some of his former players listening in. Wildcats up to the line. Second down and 9 from their own 20. Twin receivers to the right. As Hansen's in the shotgun at the 15. Takes the snap. Drops back. Steps up. Fires across the middle. Aiden Klosterman's there. It's a foot race. And I bet you can guess who's going to win that. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Central City. Aiden Klosterman 60 yards to the house. As Jaden Hansen was the third touchdown strike of the night. And Central City gets on the board quickly here in the second half. 60 yards, Jaden Hansen to Aiden Klosterman, and Wildcats extend their lead. They'll go for 2 here, 18-0 our score, as Jaden Hansen runs into the huddle.
Oh, King and Kula too. Let's go, Cats. The whole crew.
Wildcats up to the line, 10:36 on the scoreboard right now. Wildcats up 18-0. Hansen in the shotgun, Klosterman to his right. Klosterman takes the direct snap, going up the middle. He's going to try to fight ahead. Did he get in there? Yes, he did. 2-point conversion, good. Aiden Klosterman punches across the goal line. Wildcats convert their first 2-point conversion of the evening. 10:36 to go in our third quarter. Central City leading this one over Key by a score of 20-0. So Wildcats had their offensive struggles, also had some good moments in that first half. Didn't take much time at all to get the scoring going here in the third quarter. 60 yards, Jaden Hansen to Aiden Klosterman. That's Jaden's third touchdown pass of the night. And that is his 7th touchdown pass of the season so far. Through 6 and just barely into his 7th quarter of action as a junior. So Key back on the field. They'll get the ball. Carter Seats and Ben Francoschetti, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. My apologies to Ben. Are back deep to return. Wildcats jog onto the field, and Jaden Hansen will kick it away. Hansen will kick it away from the 30. Again, Colton Welton, the freshman, out there as the decoy, if you will. We have not seen that decoy actually kick one this year, but it's certainly something we could see. Hansen marches off his steps as we're going to resume play. Cindy McCarthy also listening in. Go Cats. Thanks for listening in, Karth. As Hansen comes up to the ball, kicks it away. Not a bad kick, end over end. Fielded at the 6 by Seats. It's on the ground. He picks it up at the 8, up past the 10. Makes a move, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 15. Nolan Gates, he's been a very good special teams player this year, as well as his work on offense and defense. And makes a good tackle there. He's going to have the Key Hawks set up at the 14-yard line. And they will take over first down and 10 from their own 14. 10:32 to go in our third quarter as Key will set up. They come up to the line Dalton Mutterman just jogging into the huddle. Dalton Mutterman, the sophomore quarterback, had his struggles in that first half as he was dogged in the backfield by that defensive line of the Wildcats. Under center here, I formation. Play action pass, rolling back. In trouble, goes down the field. Getzinger's there, and it's incomplete, overthrown. Getzinger had a step. Klosterman and Greifer in hot pursuit, but it's off of Getzinger's fingertips. That's an incompletion. Second down and 10 upcoming from their own 14. Wildcats on top of this one, 20-0 here. Early moments of our second half. Looking at the numbers for Dalton Mutterman in that first half, completed 2 passes out of his 6 attempts, but that ended up with a net of -4 yards after a fumble on one of those, and another one went for no gain. I formation for the Keyhawks. Mutterman under center. Handoff up the middle to Peterson, the fullback. He's got some room past the 20, taken down shy of the 25. That'll set up third down and short for Key, as there's a good run by Hunter Peterson, the fullback. Gets it up to the 23-yard line, gain of 9 on 2nd and 10. It's going to be third down and 1 yard to go for Key. Again, ball at the 23. Wildcat defense looking to get a stop here on 3rd and short. Keyhawks up to the line, I formation. Peterson and Getzinger are the backs. Mutterman under center. Watch a QB sneak. That's not what they're going to do, as Getzinger takes the handoff, and he's going to have the first down taken down by Klosterman. That's Matthew Klosterman, as well as Christopher Greif. Got more than enough. Got up to the 30-yard line. Gain of 7 for Getzinger. And it is going to be 1st and 10 for Key. 1st and 10 from the 30, 9:42 and counting to go in our third quarter. Wildcats lead at 20-0. Wildcats back in Lansing for the first time since 2018. They won that one 60-12. Back in 2018, that was the year the Wildcats made the run to the postseason. This Central City team certainly has some high expectations. Jaden Hansen said yesterday on KCRG that it's playoff or bust for this year for the Wildcats. They've been looking good so far. Twin receivers left, and we got a false start, as looks like Jackson Schulte, the receiver out far right for Key, goes well before the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty, as they'll march that back to the 25, and we'll try 1st and 15. Wait a minute. Nope. They're going to say it's on Central City. The referee began marching one way, turned around, and marches the other. It's going to be on Central City, and we'll call that 1st and 5. Believe they're going to call offside, but I did not see an indication. So 1st and 5 for Key from the from the Key 35. 9 minutes and counting in our third quarter. Keyhawks up to the line, 1st and 5. One receiver to either side as Mutterman's in the shotgun this time. Takes the snap, drops back, in some trouble. Pressure's there, gets rid of it. Coles runs the intended receiver, and it's picked off. Aiden Klosterman with the 2nd interception of the game. Returns the pass to 25, 35, past midfield. Taken down by Tom Trondle, past midfield. Flag comes in at the end of the play on the tackle. Aiden Klosterman picks off his 2nd pass of the ball game. And we'll wait for the call on the penalty, but it looks like Wildcats will take over in pretty good field position. Another flag came in. I believe they're going to get Jaden for an illegal block. So we'll see if these two offset or if they're both against the Wildcats. So they're discussing with Coach Winters, and I believe they're both against the Wildcats. Jaden got called for block in the back, but that's declined. And hit to the helmet is called. So Central City will have it marched back pretty far, but they will still get the football. As we'll see where they stop marching it. They're going to spot the ball at the 15-yard line, maybe the 16. That's where the Wildcats will have 1st and 10. Or my correction, the 10. 10-yard line, not the 15. That's where Central City will take over.
Great job, D-War, from the Kramers.
1st and 10, Central City from their own 10. Wildcats in the huddle here. As they come up to the line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Matthew Klosterman takes a snap, going to the left. Has some room down the sideline, past the 15, going to be taken out of bounds. Looks like just shy of a 1st down. Pretty good gain there on that run for Matthew Klosterman. As Central City will have 2nd down and about 3 yards to go. Wildcats come up to the line. 2nd down and 3 from the 18-yard line. Snap goes to Christopher Greif, the direct snap to the fullback, and he'll have 1st down yardage. Good aggressive running there by Christopher Greif. He will move the chains. They're going to spot the football at the 24. We'll call that a gain of 6 for Greif. Only needed 3, more than enough for a 1st down. Christopher Greif's first carry of the ball game. Ran it a few times last week. Wildcats back up to the line. 1st and 10 from their own 24. Snap will go to Hanson, but we got a flag. And looks like it's going to be false start against Central City. That is the call. As I said, Wildcats have had their problems with penalties so far this season. Looks like that is their 11th penalty of the night. 80 yards of penalty yardage. Now they have 1st and 15 from their own 19. Jaden Hanson jogs into the huddle. Now they break the huddle up to the ball. 1st and 15 from their own 19. Hanson and Klosterman to take the snap. It goes to Matthew Klosterman. Bounces off a blocker. Now trying to go the other way, but somebody comes in from behind. I didn't see Jacob Rolfs was still back there. And there won't be much for him on that carry. Might have lost some yardage. We'll see where they spot the football. Believe they're going to have him lose 1. Back to the 18. 2nd down and 16 will be upcoming. Wildcats have it at their own 18. Colton Nowodzki exits the ball game, as Jaden Hanson jogs in with the play call. And we got a timeout on the field. Central City going to use their first timeout of this 2nd half. They've got 2 remaining in the ball game. 7:17 to go in our 3rd quarter. Central City leading Key 20-0. With the stoppage of play, I'll give a shout out to our sole sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank, with offices in Central City and Eastern Iowa, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending, and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. You can learn more at www.hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. 20-0 Wildcat lead here. 7:17 to go in our 3rd quarter, but after a false start penalty and a loss of 1 on their 1st down run, they have 2nd and 16 from their own 18. Wildcats just used their first timeout of the 2nd half. They've got 2 remaining for the rest of the game. Key still has all 3. Wildcats coming back onto the field. Key taking their time. They'll be out there momentarily. As now Key joins Central City out there. And we'll resume play here in our 3rd quarter. Wildcat football 2nd and 16 from their own 18. Wildcats up to the line. Lucas Greif, Aiden Klosterman split out to the left. Matthew Klosterman to the right, tight to the line of scrimmage. Hanson in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, gets rid of it over to Klosterman, but it's incomplete, overthrown. Matthew Klosterman, the intended target that time. but it was over the head of the sophomore receiver. Goes incomplete. 3rd down and 16 upcoming. 7:14 to go in our third quarter. Wildcats lead at 20-0. They've scored once in each quarter so far. That score here in the third came pretty quickly, less than 90 seconds into the second half. Wildcats up to the line. Twin receivers right. Matthew Closeman to the left, Hansen in the shotgun. Takes the snap. But we got a penalty. I think it was false start, and it was. False start called against Central City. That'll back them up even farther, as they're going to have it all the way back at the 13. 3rd down and very long coming up for Central City. 3rd down and 21 from their own 13. Wildcats up to the line. Same formation. Twin receivers right, one to the left, tight to the line of scrimmage. Hansen in the shotgun. Takes the snap. 3-step drop, steps up, strike across the middle, incomplete. Intended for Aiden Klostrom, but it was over his head, and then he was tackled as he jumped up to try to get it. So the incompletion brings up 4th down and 21. And for just the second time tonight, it's punting time for Central City. Aiden's one and only punt so far tonight went 40 yards and flipped field position in a big way. See if we can have another boomer here, as Carter's Seats will go back deep to return for Key. Jaden Hansen will snap it for the Wildcats, and Aiden Klosterman sets up with the heel of his foot on the goal line. Seats back at about the 30. Arwen Betzer comes in motion left to right. Pretty good snap. Klosterman gets the punt away. It's a line drive, but it's a pretty good one. Takes a big Wildcat bounce. Seats field. Now he's going to return. Going past midfield. Jaden Hansen with the diving tackle to stop him from getting any farther. Another pretty good punt by Klosterman, but there was some more return on that one, as Seats brought it up to midfield. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 39 across midfield. 1st down and 10 for Key. So Key will start this possession in Wildcat territory. 1st and 10 from the Central City 39. 7 minutes exactly to go in our third quarter. The 20-0 Wildcat lead. Dalton Mutterman runs into the huddle, the sophomore quarterback. So far on the night, 2 of 7 for -4 yards. Been a rough night for him so far. 2 receivers left. Mutterman under center, takes the snap, drops back in the pocket. Christopher Greif is there and wraps him up and tosses him to the ground. Christopher Greif, the linebacker, came in untouched, and that's a sack. Lost count of how many that's been tonight for the Wildcats, but that defensive front has been ruthless. There's another big loss. Loss of 6, 2nd down and 16 upcoming for Key, back at their own 35. 6.5 minutes remaining in our third quarter now, as Mutterman runs in with the play call. Hawks break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Twin receivers left. Mutterman under center. Looks like Peterson is the back behind him. Takes the 5-step drop at the screen pass. Peterson's there, but it's over his head, incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long for Key. Screen passes have been there tonight for Key, but they just haven't been able to make the catch. Whether the problem be on the throw, on the reception, or maybe a little bit of both on some plays. Just has not been working for Key, as they have 3rd down and 16 from their own 35 upcoming. Wildcat defense has been ruthless here tonight, as so far in this game, Key has managed unofficially, very unofficial stats here, but they have managed just 31 total yards of offense. Again, keeping very unofficial stats. Official stats will likely be posted tomorrow on Varsity Bound, but rough numbers working with here. 2 receivers right for Key. Mutterman under center. Takes a snap. Drops back in the pocket. Pressure's there again. Steps up, and he just tosses one for dear life to the sideline. And that's going to be intentional grounding as the flag comes in. That'll be a loss of down, and 4th down is upcoming. 4th and very long for Key. As again, the pressure was there. Mutterman just threw it away, but nobody anywhere close to the vicinity of that pass, as they're going to call off the flag for whatever reason. Regardless, it's still going to be 4th down and long for Key, as the intentional grounding flag comes off. It'll be 4th down and 16 from their own 35. Lucas Greif back deep to return. Mutterman's going to snap it, and Andrew Colesrud will get set to punt for Key. Colesrud stands at the 25. Snap is there, punts away. Very dangerous there, nearly blocked. It's going to end up not being a very long punt, as it's going to be picked up just shy of of Key territory. They're going to spot that at the 37. Wildcats will take over 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. So 6 minutes, 1 second to go in our third quarter. Central City football. 1st and 10 from their own 37, leading 20-0 here from Lansing. Wildcats looking to start 2-0 this season. They're about 18 more minutes of high-quality football away from doing just that. Christopher Greif jogs into the huddle at the last minute as the Wildcats break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from their own 37. Looks like Klosterman brothers in the backfield. Matthew spins, keeps it himself. Bouncing off tacklers. He's going to get it up past midfield. And they're going to call it down right at the 40, in fact. So Matthew gains 3 there. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 from midfield for Central City. Quick look at the offensive numbers for Central City so far. 4 players have ran the football. Aiden Klosterman, 9 carries, 42 yards. Jaden Hansen, 8 for 33. Matthew Klosterman, 6 for 16. And Christopher Greif, 1 carry for 6 yards. Wildcats up to the line, 2nd and 7 from midfield. Klosterman brothers in the backfield. Snap goes to Aiden this time, going up the middle. Past the 35, past the 30. Stiff arms a man, and he's taken down to the 25-yard line. Good, hard running there from Aiden Klosterman. He picks up about 15 yards on that carry. And we'll see where they spot it as the official wipes off the ball and sends it down right at the 25. Gain of 15 from Aiden Klosterman. Wildcats up to the line, 1st and 10 from the Key 25. 5 minutes to go in the third. Klosterman brothers back there to take the snap. It will go to Aiden again. Going up the middle, trying to find some room. Breaks out of 1 tackle, but no, he can't fully break out of it as Peterson hangs on and brings him down. As he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a gain of 2 on that carry for Aiden. 2nd down and 8 from the Key 23 upcoming for Central City. Matthew Klosterman jogs back into the huddle as Jaden Hansen currently on the sideline for the Wildcats right now as they give the Keyhawks a slightly different look. With both the Klosterman brothers, Aiden the junior and Matthew the sophomore back there to take the snap. We'll see who takes it this time. It's going to be Aiden again, going up the middle. Good blocking up front, past the 20, bounces off a guy, past the 15, finally taken down. As Braxton Davis lays down a pancake block and then helps the guy up afterwards. That'll move the chains again for Central City. Looks like a gain of about 8 on that play up to the 15. We'll call that the 14-yard line. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats. 4 minutes and counting to go in our third quarter. Wildcats in the huddle. Now they break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Same look. Christopher Greif is the fullback. Klosterman brothers back there to take the snap. Aiden's taken the last few. This one goes to Aiden again, trying to find some room, but nothing really opens up as he's taken down after maybe a gain of a yard. Not a whole lot there for Aiden on that carry. Looks like might have actually been less than a yard. Call that 2nd down and a long 9 upcoming. .320 to go in our third quarter. Clock does continue to run after that running play. Wildcats on top 20-0, 2nd and a long 9 from the 14. Same look on the formation. Klosterman brothers back there in the backfield. Snap is going to go to Aiden again, up the middle, following his blocks, past the 10, churning those legs up to the 5, and he's going to be finally taken down. Just short of a 1st down. Needed the 4, got the 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 for Central City. They have it up to the Key 5-yard line. Wildcats trying to extend their lead as Matthew Klosterman jogs into the huddle. Looks like a replacement on the Key defense. Jackson Schulte comes off as Hunter Peterson will jog on there. Switching out one of the linebackers. Wildcats up to the line. 3rd and 1 from the 5. Snap is going to go to Aiden again. Up the middle. Blocking's there, and he goes into the end zone. That's a 5-yard touchdown run for Central City. Aiden Klosterman 5 yards up the middle, and the Wildcats extend their lead. Great blocking up front. 26-0 our score as Aiden Klosterman runs into the end zone. That's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, his 1st here tonight. 26-0 Central City as they'll go for the 2-point conversion. Offensive line looking good up there for Central City. Some good blocking on those last couple of runs as they'll stick with the same look on this conversion. Klosterman brothers in the shotgun. Again, Aiden takes the snap up the middle. Braxton Davis with an absolute pancake of a block, and that allows Aiden Klosterman to cross the goal line for the 2-point conversion. So 2-point conversion is good. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in our 3rd quarter. Central City extends their lead. They now lead this game by a score of 28-0. Go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank, while we got a break in the action. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual, and that's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. Wildcats score for the 2nd time of this 3rd quarter. 4th time tonight. Aiden Klosterman finds the end zone again. He found it through the air earlier on. This time does so on the ground. Central City with a 28-0 lead over Key, a team that beat up on the Wildcats a little bit last year, but a lot of changes on that Key team. They lost a lot of seniors off a team that made it a game away from the Unidome last year, falling to Easton Valley in the quarterfinals. Wildcats started the season 0-6 last year before winning the last 3. Getting some momentum coming into this year and lost pretty much no production when you look at an offensive standpoint. High expectations for the Wildcats this year, and they've lived up to it so far. Both teams back onto the field as, thanks to Cody Ratliff for helping out with the update here. 28-0 Wildcats, 2:20 to go in our 3rd quarter. Jaden Hansen going to set up to kick it away. Franchetti and Seats back deep to return for Key. Hansen has the ball teed up. Takes his approach. And Hansen puts a boot into that one. That's a good kick. That's going to go nearly into the end zone, but a flag comes in. And one of the Wildcat kickoff team members was a little overzealous that time. Ends up leaving early, and that's a 5-yard penalty. We'll re-kick. So they're going to back it up to the 25. Central City will re-kick. So this time Jaden will kick it off from the 25-yard line as he marches off his steps once again. Hansen puts his hand in the air. Gets the ready-to-play whistle. We'll see if everybody can stay onside this time as there's the kickoff. That's a pretty good one from Jaden. Fielded by Seats, but he drops it. No, it's Franchetti on the return. Up past the 10. Tries to make a move. Gets out of one tackle, but he's brought down past the 15. Christopher Greif gets down there and makes the tackle. So not great field positioning for Key on this one, as they're going to spot it right around the 15-yard line. Officially, they will spot it right at the 15. 1st down and 10 for Key. 2:11 to go until the end of the 3rd. Again, Wildcats up 28-0 as the Key Hawks come up to the line of scrimmage. High formation for Key as Mutterman's under center, takes the snap, hands off to Getzinger up the middle, bounces off one guy, but he's brought down. As looks like somebody stuck with the tackle there. Matthew Klosterman stuck with it and makes the stop. As Getzinger picks up a few yards that time, gets it up to the 18-yard line, call it a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 upcoming. Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Mutterman runs into the huddle. Now Key up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 7 from their own 18, I formation. Peterson's the fullback, and Getzinger the running back. And the major miscommunication that time as Betzer's in the backfield right away, but somehow Mutterman breaks out of it. He'll end up gaining a few yards. Mutterman took the snap, went to hand off to somebody, but nobody was there. But props where it's due. Dalton Mutterman makes something out of nothing on that play. Ends up gaining about 3. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Ball up to the 21-yard line for Key. Just over a minute until the end of the 3rd. Keyhawks come up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 4 from their own 21. Need the 25 to move the chains. I formation again. Mutterman does not take the snap as there was some movement. And that's going to be false start called against Key. So 3rd and 4 becomes 3rd and 9. As the false start called on the Keyhawks. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 16. Mutterman goes and gets a new play call from Chad Winters, head coach for the Keyhawks in his 10th season. As now the Keyhawks come up to the line. I formation again for Key. Mutterman takes the snap, drops back. It's a 5-step drop. Passes in the air. It's incomplete. Jaden Hansen breaks it up. Believe Jackson Schulte was the intended target that time. But Hansen played the near perfect pass defense. Breaks it up. And 4th down and 9 upcoming for Key. Lucas Greif is going back deep to return a punt. As Key getting set to punt this one away. They come up to the line of scrimmage. Dalton Mutterman, the quarterback, will also be handling the long snapping duties. Andrew Colesrud sets up at the 5 to punt this one away. Lucas Greif set up at the 35 to return. Snaps a bit low but handled. Kicks away. Bringing Greif over to his right. That's a pretty good punt, and Greif will wisely, just let it go as Carter Seats hustles down and picks it up at about the 28-yard line. That is where Central City will take over. Pretty solid punt that time from Colesrud.
Half-price hot dogs, let's go.
Key will take over 1st and 10 from their own 28. 20 seconds to go in our 3rd quarter as the Wildcat offense jogs into the huddle. By the way, 40 yards on that previous punt from Colesrud. Like I said, pretty good kick out of the junior. Wildcats 1st and 10 from their own 28. Still the close rooms back there. Aiden takes it. Makes some juke moves in the backfield. Now he's going to have it up past the 35. Not a bad run on 1st down by Aiden. Adds to his productive night on the ground as that will end our 3rd quarter. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like the 36. And that is going to do it for our 3rd quarter of football here from Lansing. Put the 4s in the air as we get set to begin our 4th quarter momentarily. We do so with the Wildcats on top of this one by a score of 28-0. Wildcats will have 2nd down and looks like 1 once we get going here for the 4th quarter of play.
I know, it's so bad.
12-minute setback on the clock as we're going to get our 4th quarter started here momentarily. Wildcats will have it at their own 37.
No fireworks tonight in Key, baby. I just want to yell that so bad.
Looking at some numbers here through 3 quarters of football. Jaden Hansen, 5 of 13, 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Aiden Klosterman, 16 carries, 91 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Hansen, 8 carries for 33 yards. Matthew Klosterman, 6 carries, 16 yards. Christopher Greif, 1 carry for 6 yards. In the receiving game, Aiden, 2 receptions for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lucas Greif, 2 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown. Matthew Klosterman, 1 catch for no yardage on that play. Getting set to begin our 4th quarter here from Lansing. Wildcats have 2nd down and 1 from their own 37 as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 4th quarter getting underway here from Lansing. Wildcats 12 minutes away from the victory. Klosterman brothers in the backfield. Snap goes to Christopher Greif on the direct snap. The fullback's going to have a 1st down and more across midfield. Keeps those legs churning, falls forward, and he will get pretty good gain on that carry. only needed 1 for a first down. He got considerably more than that. Got to the cross midfield, close to about the 38. Going to call that about a gain of 5 from Christopher on that carry. First down and 10 for Central City from the Key 38. Wildcats break their huddle up to the line of scrimmage. First and 10 from the Key 38. Close from Brothers. Back there to take the snap. This time it's going to be Aiden. Trying to go out to the right. Now cuts it up the middle. Tripped up in the backfield. And he will fall forward for several yards, however, as the momentum carries him ahead. Gets a gain of 3 up to the 35-yard line. Second down and 7 upcoming for Central City. Second and 7 from the 35. Got a comment here from Logan. My dad and I are listening. You guys do a great job. Thank you, Go Wildcats. Appreciate that, Logan. Glad I'm able to provide this broadcast for those that didn't want to make the 2-hour trek out here to Lansing. Happy to provide you with the coverage of tonight's game. Snap goes to Aiden Klosterman. Finds a seam. Down the sideline. 20, 15, 10. Makes a man miss. And he's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. 35 yards. Aiden Klosterman to the house. And the Wildcats extend their lead. Klosterman bouncing off of purple jerseys and finds his way across the goal line. Central City leads this one 34-0. They can invoke running clock with a 2-point conversion. Wildcats going to try to get the running clock turned on here with 10:46 to go until the end of the game. Of course, that invokes at 35 points. Currently 34-0 is our score. Wildcats up to the line. Klosterman brothers are back there to take the snap. The snap is going to go to Aiden again. Going to the right. It's going to be a pass. And Makai Benton open in the back of the end zone, but it's incomplete. No good. So our score will stay at 34-0. As the 2-point conversion attempt, no good. So 10:46 to go in the ball game, and the Wildcats lead at 34-0 here from Lansing. Well, I've got to stop in the action here again. Got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual. That's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. Could not provide you with these broadcasts without the support of Heartland Bank. Of course, everybody sees Heartland Bank in Main Street on Central City. Got to give a big shout out to them for their support of Wildcat Athletics. Formerly Next Bank, now Heartland Bank, have been our sole sponsor pretty much, I believe, since we began these broadcasts back in, I want to say, 2017-18. And they've been a great sponsor ever since. So 10:46 to go in the game. Looks like Carter Getzinger is back out there as a kick returner alongside Carter Seats. That's how they started the game, subbed a little bit, and now they're going to make the switch back. Central City makes their way onto the field, and Jaden Hansen has the tee. He'll kick it away. Jaden Hansen gets the tee set at the 30-yard line, and now puts the ball on the tee. 34-0 our score. Central City well on their way to starting 2-0 for the first time since 2018. High expectations for Central City as Hansen gets set to kick it away. Hand in the air from Hansen. And now he comes up to the ball. Hansen's kick is away. It's one of his shorter ones. Rolfs fields just past the 15 up to the 20. Making a move to the outside. He's going to be met before the 25 and wrapped down. As looks like that was Josh Lindsay, the freshman on the kick coverage, that jogged his way down there and made the tackle. So good job by Lindsay to get down there and make the play. And it's going to be Key football, 10:39 to go in the ball game. Looks like the ball is spotted at their own 22-yard line after Rolfs had to kind of act as an impromptu kick returner there. Wasn't expecting to get it, but ended up in his hands and did a fairly good job of returning it. So 1st and 10 Key from their own 22 as the Key Hawks are in the huddle. Come up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10. I formation for the Hawks. As it's going to go to, I want to say, Getzinger up the middle. I'll wait for confirmation on that number. As looks like that was in fact Getzinger. Brings it up a few yards. Past the, or just shy of the 25, excuse me. Gain of 2 on that carry from Getzinger. And it's going to be 2nd down and 8 from their own 24. Key takes the, or excuse me, comes up to the line of scrimmage, I should say. I formation. Mutterman takes the snap. Play action pass, dropping back in the pocket, gets rid of it. It's incomplete, nearly picked off. Matthew Klosterman was right there, couldn't quite get up there to make the play. Very well covered. Luke Birds was also in the coverage for Central City. And the incompletion from Mutterman brings up 3rd down and 8. Again, folks, very unofficial stats here, but I have Key down for a total of 39 yards of offense. Just an absolute showcase of defense tonight from the Wildcats. Key hawks him up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 8 from their own 24. Twin receivers to the right, twins to the left as well. Mutterman in the shotgun. Mutterman takes the snap. He's going to step up, looks to throw. Luke Birds couldn't quite get there. Mutterman was hit as he threw, and therefore pass was nowhere near where he intended it to be. Took a pretty sizable hit as he let go of it. Luke Birds made the diving effort but couldn't quite pick it off. It's going to be 4th down and 8 for Key from their own 24 as the punt team comes on. And Lucas Greif will make his way back to return. Mutterman will snap. Coles Rudd will punt. He sets up at about the 13-yard line. Greif back deep to return close to the 25. Low snap, bounces off the ground, but it's handled. Kicks away. Not a bad one. Lucas is going to go up there and get it. He's going to return it. Makes out of a tackle past the 35. Brought down just past midfield. I believe one of the Key players may be saying they thought he called for a fair catch. That was not the case, as Lucas Greif, not a bad return that time. It's going to be Central City ball, 1st and 10 from midfield. Central City just 9 minutes and 50 seconds away from the win, leading this one 34-0 and having possession of the football. Very impressive showing from the Wildcats here tonight, offensively and defensively as well. The offense took a little bit longer to come. It was a little slow in that first half, but the defense has been here all night. And that's been the difference in this game. 1st and 10 from midfield for Central City. Snap goes to Josh Lindsay into the ball game, his first career varsity carry, and it's a very good one. Brings it past the 35, just short of the 30. Josh Lindsay getting into the ball game and running, and he does it quite well. We'll call that a gain of 8. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. 2nd down and 2 for Central City from the 32, as it looks like do have some JV kids starting to make their way into the game. And I think I just heard timeout called. Yes, I did, as timeout is called by Central City. They use their 2nd timeout of the second half. They've got one remaining, 9:16 to go in the 4th quarter. Central City on top of this one, 34-0. Well, we've got a break in the action. Why don't we take a look at some stats here tonight for Central City. Jaden Hansen hasn't been called upon too much in the passing game, but he's done well when he's been called upon, 5 of 13. But of those 5 completions, gone for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Aiden Klosterman's had a very good game on the ground, 18 carries, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jaden Hansen, 8 carries, 33 yards. Matthew Klosterman, 6 for 16 yards. Christopher Greif, 2 for 11 yards. And we just saw Josh Lindsay, 1 carry for 8 yards. As Lindsay's first career varsity carry, the 5'11", 180-pound freshman, did not touch the football this past Friday. Wildcats back onto the field. 2nd down and 2 for Central City from the Key 32. 9:16 to go in the ball game after the Wildcats just used the timeout due to some confusion. I also see Colton Welton into the ball game. So like I said, some younger kids starting to get in there. Looks like Matthew Klosterman and Lindsay are back there to take the snap. It'll go to Lindsay again, but a flag comes in. And we're going to get a false start. So Wildcats called for another penalty. That's been the one big negative I've seen from Central City here tonight, is there's been a ton of penalties. I'll get you the official numbers here in a moment, or unofficial numbers, but based on my calculations. Should also mention all stats I give you are very unofficial, keeping some stats here on my phone. Official game stats will be posted tomorrow morning, more than likely, or at least sometime tomorrow on Varsity Bound. 14 penalties for nearly 100 yards against the Wildcats here tonight. That's something they'll have to clean up as they go through the season. 2nd and 7 from the 37. Josh Lindsay takes the snap, goes past the 35, breaks a couple of tackles. He's going to be just shy of a first down. Gets up to about the 32-yard line. Again, not a bad run from the freshman. Have a feeling Josh Lindsay is a name you may be hearing more and more frequently once he gets to be a sophomore into his junior year. Just a freshman right now, but he's looked good so far here as he's gotten a couple carries late in this game. 3rd and 2 from the 32 for Central City. Lindsay and Matthew Klosterman back there to take the snap. Josh Lindsay takes it up the middle, making moves in the backfield. He'll have the first down, and he's going to keep fighting ahead, and he's going to be taken down shy of the 25-yard line. Good running there from Josh Lindsay as they're going to spot the football a couple yards shy of the 25 at about the 27. We'll call that a gain of 5 on the play. New set of downs for Central City, 1st and 10. Wildcats break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Again, Josh Lindsay and Matthew Klosterman back there. This one's going to go to Christopher Greif in the direct snap, and another flag comes in. And I believe we're going to get false start. We are, as that'll drive the Wildcats back 5 yards. They'll have 1st down and 15. Referee winds the clock, and we're down to 8:10 and counting in the game. As Wildcats now over 100 yards of penalty yardage in this game. That would be a major problem if this were a closer game. They'll have to clean that up going forward. Snap goes to Josh Lindsay, trying to find some room. Finds some room. He's past the 20, 15, 10, 5. Josh Lindsay scores his first career touchdown from 32 yards out. The freshman gets on the board, and the Wildcats extend their lead.
Half-price hot dogs.
Josh Lindsay ran the football for the first time of his varsity career just a couple of plays ago. This time goes 32 yards for a touchdown. Wildcats lead it 40-0. Got to imagine Josh Lindsay feeling pretty good about himself down there on the field, and as he should. Very nice couple of runs there. Unofficially, I've got him for 4 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown. That's not bad production. 2-point conversion upcoming. Christopher Greif takes the direct snap, makes his way across the goal line. Tough runner there for Christopher Greif. And the Wildcats lead this one 42-0. Scoreboard says 41-0, which is not our score. Let's look at that fixed here shortly. 2-point conversion was good. 7:53 to play in the ballgame. 42-0 our score. As Rat just mentioned, they are doing half-price hot dogs here in Lansing, so those of you that couldn't make it out, you may get the game here on YouTube, but you don't get the half-price hot dogs. You have to be at the game for that one. 7:53 and counting as Key runs onto the field. Both of the Carters on the kick return team back deep. Carter Getzinger and Carter Seats for Key. Wildcats going to be out there to kick it away shortly. And running clock, by the way, will be in effect now as we've gone over the 35-point barrier here at 42-0. Wildcat kick return teams out there now as Getzinger and Seat set up at the goal line, and Hansen is going to set the ball on the tee at the 30. Fun night of Wildcat football here from Lansing. 8 minutes past 9 here from Key High School. Wildcats have a 2-hour drive in front of them. We'll try to get this one finished up here shortly so we can make that 2-hour drive back to Central City. That'll be a fun bus, I'll tell you that, on the way back home. Hansen kicks it away. That's maybe his best kick of the night. That's going to drive Getzinger several yards deep into the end zone. That was Hansen's best kickoff of the night, as that's going to be a touchback, and Key will take over from their own 15. 1st and 10 for the Keyhawks from their own 15-yard line. Almost said clock should be running, but it should not be running after a touchback. If there was a return, the clock would not stop after the return, but of course, if it never started, can't start it now. Looks like for the most part still the first team defense out there for Central City. Believe same can be said about the offense for Key. Hawks break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from their own 15. I formation. Dalton Mutterman goes under center. Peterson and Getzinger are the backs. It's going to be handoff to Getzinger. He's got a hole. Past the 30, breaks a tackle. Trying to get past the 25. He will. He's going to come up short of the 30. That'll be a first down for Getzinger. His best run of the night so far as he picks up better than 10. Looks like 14 yards on that carry. Gets it up to the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 Key from their own 29. Carson Strong runs into the huddle for the Key Hawks. He'll deliver the play call to Mutterman. We'll relay that to the rest of his teammates. I formation for Key. Mutterman under center. Pitch over to Getzinger on the left. Cuts it up the middle. Past the 35. Met by several white jerseys and wrapped up shortly after the 35-yard line. As Getzinger gets a decent gain on that play. We'll call that a gain of 6 up to the 36-yard line. Or excuse me, gain of 7, I believe. 2nd down upcoming.
Fresh pizza burgers.
Key Hawks come up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 3 from their own 36. I formation. Peterson takes the handoff up the middle. The fullback has some room, and he'll have the first down. Gets it up across midfield before Jaden Hansen met him and upended him. But Hunter Peterson does move the chains for Key. Gains 4 on 2nd and 3 up to midfield. And that is where Key will have it. Mutterman jogs into the huddle. Hawks have it at midfield as they break the huddle. Still I formation. Peterson's the fullback, Getzinger the running back, Dalton Mutterman under center. Takes the snap. Handoff to Getzinger at the middle. Has some room, but he's going to be met quickly. As Jaden Hansen takes out the legs, Arwen Betzer got him a little bit higher up. They tag team to bring him down on that carry after a gain of 4. That'll be 2nd down and 6 for Key. Clock reads 5.5 minutes here in the 4th quarter. Wildcats on top 42-zip. I formation for Key. Mutterman hands off to Getzinger. The ball's on the ground, and Mutterman will dive on it and save the possession, but they will lose a couple of yards on that play. There was some miscommunication. I believe they were trying to run the triple option. Peterson thought he was going to. Peterson did not think he was taking the handoff. Mutterman thought he was going to give it to him. That results in a loss of 2 on the fumble. It's going to be 3rd down, 8 yards to go from the 38.
Looks like a young Niall Cotman.
Just under 5 minutes to go in the ball game as the Key Hawks come up to the line of scrimmage for, 3rd down and 8 from the 38. I formation again. Pitch out to Getzinger going to the left. Wildcats trying to close that down, and they will. Aiden Klosterman brings him down, as does Dayton Price. Might have gained a yard, not a whole lot there, as the Getzinger was met pretty quickly. We're going to call that a gain of 1. It's going to be 4th down and 7 from the Central City 37-yard line. If I were to take a guess, I think he will likely go for it here. 4:15 and counting in the ball game. Not really anything to lose at this point, down 42-0. Mutterman runs into the huddle. Now they break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 7 from the 38. I formation for Key. Mutterman under center takes a snap, pitches out to Getzinger, going to the right. Mekhi Benton meets him in the backfield and drops him for a several-yard loss. That is a turnover on downs, and Central City will take over from midfield. Mekhi Benton, the junior, had a very good year as a sophomore last year, but he's on a different level this season. Has been all over the backfield. Him, Dayton Price, Braxton Davis, among some of the names that we've seen all over that backfield here tonight. It's going to be a turnover on downs. Central City takes over 1st and 10 from midfield, and now the JV is fully out there. We'll say Braxton Davis does not fit in with the JV look. Got a bunch of smaller young kids, and then big 250-pounder Davis out there as well. Snap is going to go to Lindsey. He calls an audible and goes to the side of the field with no blockers, and he's still somehow going to get 6 yards in the play. Josh Lindsey took the snap, almost mishandled it. So he ended up going the opposite way of all his blockers and still picks up a gain of 6. Ball carried up past the 35 to the Key 34. It's 2nd down and 4 for Central City. We've got 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Wildcats up to the line. Lindsey and Cooper McLaughlin in the backfield as Lindsey took it, thought the play was dead. It was not. Breaks out of a tackle, going down the right sideline, past the 30 to the 20. He's to the 15, 10. Are you kidding me, Josh Lindsey? He stopped halfway through the play. Somehow still ends up getting down to the 5-yard line for a gain of 30 yards. Josh Lindsey picks up officially 29 yards on that carry on a play where he stopped at the snap of the football, dragged a defender about 5 yards, was finally taken down. We'll actually call that the 4-yard line. Just over 2 minutes to go in this game. Braxton Davis jogs off as Dayton Price will replace him. Central City trying to wrap this game up and see if the JV kids can get a touchdown in there. Cooper McLaughlin and Josh Lindsey are the ones back there. McLaughlin takes the snap. Throw over to Lindsey is caught, and that's going to be a touchdown. Cooper McLaughlin completes the first pass of his career. It's caught to Josh Lindsey, and that's a Wildcat touchdown. Congratulations to Cooper for his first completed pass, first touchdown pass of his career. Wildcats extend their lead 48-0. Very cool to see Cooper get that accolade here tonight. Lindsey finds the end zone for the 2nd time this evening as the Wildcats will go for 2. Minute 55 remaining in the game. McLaughlin in the shotgun. It's going to be a direct snap. Brandon Hennick was the intended target of that snap, but it's on the ground, and it's going to be a no-good 2-point conversion. Nonetheless, 1:55 to play in the game. Central City on top in this one, 48-0. Just about ready to wrap this one up here from Lansing, ladies and gentlemen. Wildcats have turned a 12-0 halftime lead into a 48-0 lead here with just under 2 minutes to go in the game. And they're going to start 2-0 for the first time in several years. I've been saying it since about the time football season ended last year, folks. This is a different Wildcat team than we've seen for the past couple of years. It's great to see as Coach Myers and the assistant coaches run a good program here in Central City. And you can see that here tonight. Keyhawks back out there to return the kick. The Wildcats are just now taking the field. And the Wildcats will give it to the Keyhawks one more time. Hanson's going to kick it away. His last one was his best one so far. Went into the end zone for a touchback. We'll see what this kickoff looks like. By the way, folks, stick around after the game. I'll have the full stats for you, as well as a brief look ahead to next week when the Wildcats return home for a matchup with Edco. We'll have some brief post-game coverage for you as well here tonight. Stick around for some of that. Hanson's going to kick it away. 1:55 to go in the ball game. Running clock is in order, remember, as Hanson sends it away. One of his shorter kicks, squib kick. Trondle drops it, picks it up, and falls to the ground. And Central City will give it over to Key on the kickoff. They'll take over 1st and 10 from about the 28-yard line. Looks like officially they are going to spot that at the 27-yard line, and that's where Key will have it. Just a squib kick on that one from Hanson, as Trondle, the center and defensive end for Key, falls on that one. Both teams have fully gone JV here, as it's a new offense
Let's go, baby.
for Key. Several new names in here. Dashni Munyakazi on the field for Central City. Cash Weber out there for what I believe is the first time.
DN, Cash Weber, baby.
And looks like Lucas Greif is going to be the senior leadership out of this group.
The only 112
He will help lead the defense. Keyhawks up to the line. Ben Franchetti is under center. He will take the snap, fumbles the snap, picks it up. Braxton Davis is there and gobbles him up. Braxton was somewhat kind on that play and didn't toss him to the ground. And that's going to be a loss of 2. And they only have to snap it one more time. Loss of 2 back to the 25. 2nd down and 12 for Key. Fullback for Key now is Kyle Moss, a 5'7", 155-pound freshman. See if we can get a number on the running back here before the final play. Looks like it's going to be Zach Getzinger in there as the running back, a 5'4" freshman for Key. Franchetti under center. Takes the snap. Hands off up the middle. That's got some room there for Moss on the carry, but he's wrapped up. Looks like Dashni Munyakazian on that tackle, as was Caleb Walker. Got to believe that's probably those two's first varsity assisted tackles, so good stuff there. That's going to do it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't believe they will run another snap. They will not. As that's going to do it here from Lansing. Final second runs off the clock. Our final score, Central City wins it 48-0. They improved to 2-0. That's the first time they've done that since 2018. Wildcats off to a great start, and they pitch a shutout here tonight on the road against Key. So Wildcats improved to 2-0. Key falls to 0-2. As before we sign off here tonight, I will give you some final statistics. First, let's take a look at Key. Hunter Peterson was 0 of 1 passing on that trick play. He threw an interception. Dalton Mutterman 2 of 12 for -4 yards. He also had an interception. On the ground, Carter Getzinger 14 carries, 37 yards. Hunter Peterson 5 carries, 19 yards. Dalton Mutterman 14 carries for 12 yards. Kyle Moss 1 carry, 7 yards. And Ben Franchetti 1 carry for -2 yards. Give me one moment here, folks. Final score is in the chat here on YouTube. In the receiving game, Carter Getzinger, 2 receptions, lost 4 yards on those 2 receptions. For Central City, final numbers, Jaden Hansen, reigning KCRG Player of the Week, Athlete of the Week, that is. 5 of 13, 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. Cooper McLaughlin, 1 of 1, 4 yards, and a touchdown pass. On the ground, Aiden Klosterman, 18 carries, 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Lindsay impressed when he got a chance. 6 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Hansen ran it 8 times for 33 yards. Matthew Klosterman, 6 carries for 16 yards. And Christopher Greif ran the ball twice for a gain of 11 yards. And lastly, in the receiving game, Aiden Klosterman, 2 receptions for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Lucas Greif caught 2 passes for 30 yards. Josh Lindsay caught 1 pass for 4 yards and the touchdown. Matthew Klosterman, 1 reception for no gain. Looking at the total numbers, Key accounted for 73 yards in the rushing game. They lost 4 in the passing game. Total offense for Key tonight was 69 yards. Very nice defensive showing from Central City. Wildcats rushed for 278 yards here tonight. They also passed for 122. Wildcats picked up 400 yards of total offense here this evening in the win over Key. As I said, Wildcats 2-0 after the victory over Key here tonight. They'll be back in action this coming Friday. They will be back at home. Edgewood Colesburg comes to town. A team that some believe will be pretty good. They made the playoffs last season. We'll see what they do this year. Central City Edco from Central City this coming Friday. If you can't make it out to Central City, I'll have the call. Same time, same place, 6:45 here on Wildcat Sports. So, folks, thank you so much for joining me here on this broadcast. 2 hours and 40 minutes is how we're going to end up for our broadcast time tonight. Was happy to provide you with coverage of Wildcat football if you didn't want to make the 2-hour journey out to Lansing. One more time, final score here from Lansing. Central City wins it 48-0. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm David Warrington saying good night and go Cats.